right, all right. I think we are live. Back at it again. What is good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to the stream. Man, I am so excited. I had to stream today for you guys. I wasn't sure if I was going to stream today, but we had a little bit of newsy news, a little bit of drop it drop. So we're going to go ahead and talk about this, and we're going to do the walk in a little bit because apparently we've got a brand new report from the one and only Leak 2025 Leaker of the Year and three-time award-winning Black Content Creator of the Year from the Black Keely Awards. Nate the Hate has put out the recent podcast, and yeah, he talked about a lot of different stuff that could potentially happen, stuff that he's heard. So we're gonna break down a lot of the different things and kind of just talk about gaming and have fun. And I'm excited, man. This is gonna be the beginning of the year is always one of the most exciting time periods for Nintendo fans. The beginning of the year, pretty much all the times of the year. But like the beginning of the year is definitely exciting. This year in particular is really exciting because we got a number of big third-party games supplement the first-party games. We've got some big stuff happening. We got the Mario movie. You know, we've got all sorts of stuff. We got the, the second calendar year of the Nintendo Switch 2. We've got the first year upcoming of the Switch 2 in June. We've got the investors meeting. We've got numbers coming out. Like, there's all sorts of stuff that's happening. It's far better in 2026 than it was in 2018. Like, I remember what people were thinking in 2018 with the Switch 1, and they were like, what's going on here? Whereas it's a little bit more solidified because we have so many big third-party games coming, plus first-party games. Whereas the Switch 1, we didn't necessarily have that. Everyone was thinking, what are we going to get, And luckily, Smash Brothers came in early March to let us know about that. But let's get into some shout-outs. Then we're going to get into the actual content of what Nate the Hay had to say. Once again, if you're just joining us, new Nintendo Direct should be dropping next week. Nate is predicting Thursday next week, so that'd be the 5th, but it could be the 3rd, or it could be after that. But it does seem like the first week of February, there's going to be something. So let's go and let's get into this. Shout out to Dior, shout out to Party Man, General Zamora. Hey, what's good? What's good to General Zamora? Kyle Lindquist says Ocarina of Time remake. I don't know if there's going to be an Ocarina of Time remake. I think that's just people's hopium, but we'll see. Let's see here. Yes, smash that like button. Yes, Seahawks are going to smash the Patriots. We'll see. The Patriots are a pretty stout, tough defense. One of the better defenses, so I don't think it's going to be easy. But yeah, if anybody can do it, it's definitely the Seahawks. They've played outstanding throughout the whole year, really. They really played great throughout the whole year. There wasn't really many weaknesses. They never got blown out. They never, looked that bad. They would lose some games, but it wasn't really by a lot. So by far, they've been the best overall team, like in just all phases, offense, defense, and special teams. Like, they've been the best, So yeah, but Patriots are also good. Patriots also are very, very good. So that should be a fun Super Bowl. Do you think Nick 93 is okay? I think he's pretty sick because the Rams kind of gave that game away by that turnover, that punt return. That idiot, he was trying to track it, and like the ball went over his head and off to his shoulder, and he fell down, and it bounced right off of his shoulder. I mean, that's just a bonehead, play. They just gave them 7 points, and that was essentially the difference in the game, was that last part, and then they went for it on 4th down. So, I mean, the Seahawks won it, but then also the Rams they made a lot of bad mistakes as well that also helped hand them the game. So yeah, I would think that Nick is probably feeling pretty sick. He probably felt sick last night to his stomach because the Rams had it. Let's see here. Big love to D Money. Broads Gamer. What's good? Yo, what's up, David V? Mossy Boy. Brand Smith. Let's see here. Want to double our $20 bet to 40. Stephen A. Bayless, Nick Wright eating all the Mega Crow just as I predicted Pat's doomed. No, I'm not doubling that. No, I'll keep it right where it's at. I don't really feel super confident in Drake May, to be honest. But I think he's a good quarterback and definitely an MVP candidate. But yeah, we'll keep it right where it's at. Bead Queen, what's up, Bead Queen? Shout outs to Bead Queen. Welcome. J Dog, what's up, J Dog? Welcome. Week before Mario Fever comes out, sounds about right. I'm sure they'll mention that in the direct as well as Nintendo's first release of the year. Yeah, they're gonna definitely say like, oh, the Mario Tennis Fever game. I mean, if it's out before, they're gonna be like, oh, the Mario Tennis Fever game is coming out, you know, on this day or whatever, right? So yeah, they're definitely going to mention that as a thing for sure. Shout out to David B with the 24 months, almost at the Pure Eye boys. Hey, let's go. Appreciate that. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know what's going on here. Saying content not available. So, not sure. Let me see here. Yeah, it's just saying a bunch of content's not available with my music for some reason. Why? Yeah, once again. Interesting. Alright, here we go. Finally got something to work. Not sure there's some YouTube having some issues with the music. Alright, hey, what's up, Bad Set? Yeah, the taunting penalty was stupid and they hit him with the touchdown after that. That's true. That's true. So kind of a tit for tat. I think a direct next week would make sense, especially because they typically don't do Nintendo Directs the same week as the first party release. It's a pattern I've seen for a while. Yeah, they usually don't for like, they usually do them like a week before or a week after or within the same month. Yeah, but the same week, probably not. Rooting for Sam Darnold. He's an example of why not giving up on a young QB. Yeah, the Panthers had Sam Darnold, and you guys, I felt he was actually pretty good for you guys. The team just wasn't very good. But I remember there was one year he was starting. I think you guys went like 3-0 to start the year with him. So I was like, okay. But so I don't know why you guys got rid of him, why you guys got rid of Baker. You had two good quarterbacks that literally played well, but the problem, the team wasn't very good. The team just wasn't very good. If you would have just drafted around Sam Darnold, I think you guys would have been like a legitimate like top seed contender. He looked great for the Carolina. It's just, once again, you guys' team just wasn't very good around him. I don't think Bryce Young played any better or or worse than what Sam Darnold did when he was there. So it's interesting that they've got a really long leash with I mean, I guess because he's a #1 draft pick for him. But they've got an incredibly long leash for Bryce Young, but they didn't extend that same offer to Baker Mayfield or to Sam Darnold. It's funny, they pulled the rug out from underneath both of them very quickly, but with Bryce Young, they'll allow him to just linger around, which I get it. Obviously, #1 pick, you traded everything for him, but damn, like, Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield didn't play any worse than Bryce Young has played. It's not like they were 10 times worse than what he was, and they barely gave those two any time to even try. So I don't know. Yeah, ownership terrible, man. Panthers ownership is, I gotta admit, Panthers ownership is actually terrible. They're pretty bad. They're not very good. They're not very good at all. But hey, you guys got the playoffs this year, so that was good. What's up, Max Only? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Big love. Big love. If anyone on YouTube not loading, you have to refresh videos before they work. Yeah, it's the same thing that's happening to mine too. Some of my videos aren't loading. Like my music is not loading, just saying content not available. So I don't know what's going on. So it does seem like there's some issues with YouTube right now. Maybe that might affect viewership for today. I want to say shout outs to Bean Queen, who scared me with the Jump Force 40 the other day. I was telling my wife about that. She was laughing. Oh man, Superpower Man, what's good? What is good? What is good? But yeah, that's happening to me too. What's up, Nick93? Didn't the Niners have Darnold too for a little bit? They did, but he was never going to be the franchise guy, though. He was just the backup like Mac Jones, because they already have their franchise guy. Like, Brock Purdy's played at a high level, been a multiple-time Pro Bowler, you know, so there was no point. But yeah, they did have Sam Darnold as well, but I mean, they weren't gonna replace Brock Purdy with Sam Darnold. But they needed after what happened in Philadelphia in 2022, they wanted to make sure that they always have a solid backup, like a guy that's good. So that was the policy after Brock Purdy got his elbow blown to smithereens and they didn't have any viable backup. There was a policy put in place that, like, hey, we will spend money on bringing a solid first-round talent, good quarterback here, just in case Brock gets hurt. And that's exactly what happened again this year. Brock got hurt, so then they actually brought in Mac Jones, who's a solid first round talent guy, and it helped save their season. So that's going to be the policy, you know. Although they do have a prodigy young guy that they've been grooming to potentially be the new backup after Mac Jones leaves, probably gets traded. His name is O'Rourke. He's like a 6'4", 6'5" gunslinger that went to I think it was before Mendoza. He was the quarterback. I think it was at Indiana, if I'm not correct. I forgot exactly what school, but anyway, he's a big, tall kid. He was just hurt. He tore his ACL like his last senior year in college or something like that. So he's been on the bench for like almost 2 years. But they've got that prodigy guy that they're trying to groom to be like the next quarterback, potentially after Brock Purdy. So we'll see about that. So he might be the backup next year. But yeah, usually they like to bring in after that, they like to bring in a guy that can, you know, that can, just in case Brock gets hurt, they can bring in somebody that can come and run the offense good. So Sam Darnold did that, and now Mac Jones did that. Let's see here. Shador made the Pro Bowl. Yes, I don't know what's going on there. I think they ran out of other people to play in it, so they just picked him. So yeah. So the crazy part of Nathan is that Expedition 33 comes to Switch 2 for the first time ever. My top 5 favorite games of all time will be playable on one platform. Crazy. Top 5 favorite games of all time, all playable on one platform. I do think, I'll say this, Valiant Tempest, I think that this is definitely the system that we're going to see a lot more, you know, third parties actually come through, for Nintendo at least. So yeah. Let's see here. Dan Dips Queso with the $2 first. Ninja Dono. I appreciate that. And says, DJ OG, man, we get some Ninja Gaiden Ragebound? Yeah, I'll try, but for some reason, YouTube videos aren't loading very well. So Ninja Gaiden Ragebound music. So I'll try. First dono of the stream, first Ninja Blood. Anybody does $1.99 or more, you get my man Dan Dips. Dan Dips. Thank you so much for the big $1.99. Appreciate that. Let's go. Let me get this going here. It says, yeah, content not available. So I don't know what's going on with this music. Because it's just everything saying, yeah, just content not available. It seems like my audio or YouTube's kind of broken. Anybody else dealing with this where it's just saying content not available or just not loading or something? Looks like that seems to be the case for a lot of people. Somebody else came in here. Oh, here we go. I think you have to just like reload it. If you just like reload, hit refresh, it'll work. So that's kind of what's happening right now with YouTube. Some issues. All right. Shout outs to Dan Dips. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, yo, Kaioken with the Ninja Peach.
Surviving the ice apocalypse here in Texas. Playing Silk Song on Switch 2 to pass time. Thanks for the streams to keep me entertained the last few days.
Hey, absolutely, man. I'm sorry to hear about that. In terms of everything, I don't know who is calling me right now. I have no idea. Give me 1 second, guys. I might need to take this. I'll be right back, okay? All right, sorry about that, guys. That was actually a very, very important call that I've been waiting for quite some time for myself and my wife. So just had to get that situated. But my wife is taking care of it right now, so we're good. Shout outs to Kaioken. Thank you for the $5 dono. You are now the new Hokagen Stream Ninja. And I'm glad I can keep you keep you guys' spirits up. I know a lot of you guys are dealing with the ice. I know right now Justin is also dealing with some stuff too, man. So you guys keep Justin in your prayers. He'll be okay, but it's not looking so good in terms of everything. But he'll be fine. He's not going to be in any physical harm. But it's just the snowstorm is just kicking everybody's butt right now. But yeah, just keep Justin in your prayers, guys. And like I said, try to stay warm, whatever you can do. Thank you for the $5 dono, man. Yeah, this storm's been absolutely crazy. Let's see here. TARDIS with the $5 dono and says, hope they show off 3D Mario or Animal Crossing. What do you think? Probably not a new Animal Crossing game. Probably not that one, but I would expect there to be 3D Mario is definitely something that I think is very much possible. Would be 3D Mario. Yeah. Yeah, I think 3D Mario is definitely coming. Just because, the thing that people like to confuse with this one, TARDIS, is that they like to say, thank you. They like to say stuff like, oh, well, Donkey Kong Bonanza team, they made the Mario team already made that. And it's like, no, that was a bunch of junior members. That was a Final Fantasy guy that had just joined Nintendo in 2020. There's no way that they gave him, it was the Mario team. You know what I'm saying? It was a new guy. It was new people, it was younger staff and new people that really liked Donkey Kong. So the new Mario game has been in development for probably quite some time from the veteran Koizumi and the veteran Nintendo guys there. So expect that to be announced. I don't know if it's going to be announced at this show. I know there's going to be a lot of controversy if it's not announced at this one, but it could be announced at the next one and released this year. But we'll see. We will see. But I would expect new gen Pokemon. I would expect I expect new gen Pokemon, and I'd expect 3D Mario for this year, both of them. So yeah, that's what I would expect. Shout out to TARDIS76. Thank you so much for the support. We got a two-way tie at the top of the board between TARDIS and I put Justin on default for some reason, but it's not. It's KO. It's KO. KO kid. I was thinking about Justin. I was thinking about him. I hope everything's okay. Let's see. Not every anniversary. 8's treated the same. People are insufferable when it comes to Mario. Yeah, I mean, like, I get it, because like people want a new 3D Mario. When people say, oh, they haven't been doing as much, all they mean is like 3D Mario. That's all they mean. So once they put that out, I think that'll be fine, right? But then they'll complain of the next thing. But yeah, I do think that 3D Mario is coming. I think that the team has been working on a big new 3D Mario game for quite some time. So yeah. I just want more Donkey Kong. I know we just got the update. I finished replaying it already. Well, I mean, we already got Donkey Kong Bonanza, plus we got Donkey Kong the update here. I think they can chill on Donkey Kong for this year. So I don't think there's going to be anything new. So maybe you can look forward to playing something else, Oh, man. Listen, you guys could consider the possibility of being a partner showcase. I mean, it could be a partner showcase, but the problem with it being a partner showcase is that there's still a bunch of games that are undated that are Nintendo first-party games. So that's the problem right there, because there's there's Yoshi, there's Duskbloods, there's a bunch Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, there's still Rhythm Heaven. There's a bunch of games that are first-party titles that are undated at this point. So usually partner showcases are after the main Nintendo Directs and after we've already gotten a little bit of a breadth of what we're getting first-party wise. That's usually when partner showcases happen, or they're closer in scope to the first, or to the last Nintendo Directs that we had at the end of the year. They usually don't happen beforehand, and then somehow there's not a regular Nintendo Direct to detail the spring games. And that's dating all the way back for the last decade. It's never been like that. So, I mean, I see what you're saying, Felipe, but what you're saying doesn't actually line up with what Nintendo's done for the past decade plus. A partner showcase, once again, is usually after the situation and after they've already dated their string of games, or it's well before it, So, like I said, that's dating. You can go back and look at their Nintendo Direct history. Nick93 with the $2 donut says, it was a good run. Special teams and defense let us down one last time, but we'll be back stronger. Also, give Stafford MVP. Stafford does get MVP. Want the Seahawks to lose, but them winning and the SF would be funny for the Niner fans. LOL, leaving it here with something. Yeah. I mean, either way, like I said, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like, whoever wins is the best team. That's kind of how I always see it, because I'm a former player. It's whoever wins. I'm not really on the semantic, stuff. Whoever wins and is the best team deserves to win no matter where it's at. Whether it's in San Francisco's backyard or it's on, the lake, or it's in Los Angeles, or it's in wherever. Whoever deserves to win, and that's really just it. That's what it comes down to. That's how God, the football gods, said that it was going to be. So you just work harder to win it the next time, or you work harder for the next season, you know. So that's just how it is. I don't really see it as anything more or less than that. Like when I played, you know, we got to the championship game, and everyone was talking about all this stuff and saying, oh man, we're going to be the first team ever in our school history to win, and it's going to be right in our backyard. We were playing it in our house, in our backyard. We got essentially like a home game, and we went to the game and we got blown out, man. Like we were 12-0 and we got blown out, and I did not even know what hit us, bro. We lost like 42-10 or something like that. And everything happens for a reason, man. Everything happens for a reason. So it is what it is. But I know how it feels like to go through a whole season and be excited and think that you got the team that can win it all and all this good stuff. And then you get to the championship game and you get absolutely obliterated, or you lose. It sucks, man. It's not fun. And once again, I'd been working literally my whole small to middle life from when I was in sixth grade all the way to when I was a senior. So 6 years towards this very moment that I put so much, that we all played together as a team, you know, from little league or little pee-wee or Jack Frost, whatever you want to call it, all the way up. And we get to that moment when we want to accomplish something, and you get blown off the face of the earth and you don't even know what happened to you. And you're like, what happened, you know? So I've been there, man. It sucks. It really sucks, but it is what it is. That's just, like I said before, the football gods are the football gods. You know, you go out there, you leave it all on the field, and whatever happens, you know? Let's see here. Jump Mom with the $10 dono. Shout outs to Jump Mom. Appreciate that. Welcome back, brother. And he says, some predictions I got are the DKC GBA. Let's see here. GBA games and maybe the DKC or DK64 on NSO. Mario Kart World DLC and a 3D Mario announcement for the Nintendo side. Also unlikely to happen, but I'm hoping for Rune Factory 6. Okay, Rune Factory. Yeah, that could definitely be a thing. Absolutely. Shout outs to my man Jumpmon. We've got full combo extensions and rewards here today, guys, so we're gonna get it in. Let's go. We got a brand new stream and stream Hokage with Jumpmon. Jumpmon, by the way, long time viewer. You guys give some love to Jumpmon, man. He's been around for almost a decade. It's been a while. So shout outs to Jumpmon. Appreciate you. Hopefully you and your family are doing it good. I think you said you have a sister, right? So I hope you and your family are doing good. Your parents, everything, you know, cousins, all that good stuff. Jumpmon, I hope you're okay. And hope everything's going good, man. Thank you for the support, brother. Like always, you know, I got your back. Big love to Jumpmon. Also, combo breaks and overclocks 15-minute extension. Oh wait, hold up, wrong button. Here we go. There we go.
Overclock Buster.
Yes sir, yes sir. There we go. That's the one. Let's see, considering it's the first direct of the year, it'll be mostly first-party games. Some third-party will be there, like RE9 and Pragmata, but they still have released a few dates. Well, guys, every single major direct, when it comes to big directs, have mostly third-party games. They're mostly formed of third-party games. Every single major direct is mostly third-party games. Yeah, there's first-party games, but those are actually the minority of the games in any big direct. Usually, there's around maybe four or five first-party games. And mostly it's composed of third-party games. That's how every major direct is. If you go back and look at every single major direct, now sure, the big Nintendo first-party games steal the spotlight a lot of the times, but the majority of Nintendo directs, the main ones, are third-party games. Like if you just look at the total count of games, yeah, mostly third-party. Says shoot, so no Zelda. Shoot, so I mean, there might be Zelda there. We have to wait and see. There's no confirmed guarantee. We don't know what's going to be there. So you gotta go to the direct, and once we get there, then they'll announce whatever they announce. So they could announce some stuff for like the anniversary, and all that. So we have to wait and see. That's how it is for every single direct, guys. It's no different than anything else that we've gotten before. I do think that sometimes whenever we get directs, Nintendo fans act really weird for some reason, as if we have not seen this before a million times. You know, it's like, it's the same stuff that it's always going to happen. There's going to be a direct. There's going to be some games that are announced, some games that aren't. If it's not announced at this direct, it could be announced at the next one or the following one. So it's the same. Anything that we've had before in the past that you remember from directs, the same applies now, just with Nintendo Switch 2. So think about it that way. Don't overthink it, you know? Don't overthink it. Let's see here. I feel like Elden Ring needs a release date. I'm hoping for something Zelda related, even if it's just a remake. Yeah, I think Elden Ring, Borderlands 4, some of the games that got delayed from last year, I think those ones definitely have a chance at being dated at the Nintendo Direct. Yeah, yeah. I could see something Zelda related in February though. We could see it announced in June Direct. Yeah, I mean, it can be this one, it can be the next one. Nintendo usually has 3 Directs per year, and I think a lot of people just kind of forget that they usually have around 3 per year. A couple partner showcases per year, a couple indie showcases per year, 2 to 3 indies, 2 to 3 partners, 2 to 3 regular Nintendo Directs. Usually like 3 Nintendo Directs though. Early, middle, end. So usually February, March, June, July, September. That's usually the cadence of the main Nintendo Directs. Partner showcases can come sprinkled in at any point in between then, you know? Excuse me. Oh my gosh, this thing right here, let's see here. What's up, Jackson? We get 3 Directs a year, averaging 1 first-party release each month, including Switch 2 editions. Means expecting 4 announcements, 2 or 3, which we actually knew. Yeah, that's around what we get. 2 to 3 actual new games, then like ports or remasters, remakes, some things kind of like stuff like that, you know, as well. Trailer for Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol. Yeah, I saw it. It's cool. Let's see. Does Nintendo ever reveal X game in a direct super far in advance of being released? I feel like they don't do that. They don't do it normally, but they've done it before. So it depends on how you feel is like super far in advance. What's your definition of super far in advance? Everybody has their own definitions of what is far in advance. I think for me, anything more than a year away, I would say that's far away, right? That's more far away than closer. If it's within the year or the following year, it's not that far away. It's like, okay, it's next year. So, I mean, Nintendo rarely does that, but they've done it with Zelda. So that's why I think Zelda could get announced this year. Now, I don't think it's going to be at this showcase. I think it could be in the summer, but Zelda has a chance, but I don't think Zelda's going to launch next year. I think Zelda would probably be like the year after. So it'd probably be like 2028, maybe. It's possible that it could be 2027 though. I just don't know the scope and scale of this next Zelda game, like new Zelda. But yeah, Nintendo's announced Zelda well ahead of time. They've done that so many times in the past. You know, Skyward Sword was announced well ahead of time. Twilight Princess was announced well ahead of time. Breath of the Wild was announced well ahead of time. Tears of the Kingdom was announced well ahead of time. Like, you can date it all the way back to like almost every single Zelda game since Nintendo started, you know, doing E3 shows and stuff like that. They've always announced them early, and then we might have to wait a year, 2 years, 3 years or more. Skyward Sword, we waited almost the whole generation for Skyward Sword. Breath of the Wild, we literally waited the whole generation. They announced Breath of the Wild in 2014. They announced Breath of the Wild. Yeah, they announced that in 2014. We had to, and it went past the Wii U generation and then went in and then started the Switch generation. So we had to wait three years for that game. Tears of the Kingdom, we waited another, yeah, we waited 4 years. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Yeah, we waited 4 years for Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom was announced in 2019, E3 2019, and then it was released in 2023. Now, it was supposed to come out in 2022, but it was delayed. So there was that. Now, Fire Emblem Three Houses, that was also announced well ahead of time. I mean, but those were circumstantial announcements. Like, Fire Emblem was only announced ahead of time because they didn't want people to panic that there wasn't going to be a mainline big Fire Emblem game on the Switch, because that's something that people did a lot in the 3DS era and in the DS era. When Nintendo used to split their games, if they announced the game for the portable, console fans would start crying and complaining, even though they might have something coming up, but they got to talk about it. So they did the same thing when it came to Metroid Prime 4. They did the same thing when it comes to Fire Emblem. Before the Switch would come out, they would make sure, or even during, they'd make sure to say, oh, well, we have this game, it's coming, you know, like they'd put up like a little screen, you know, like little titles, like, oh, Fire Emblem's coming to Switch, you know, but that'll be announced later, you know, or that'll be coming later, or, oh, here's Metroid Prime 4, it's coming, because they'll announce like portable games. They'll announce like, you know, Echoes of Wisdom, or not Echoes of Wisdom, they would announce like, what was it, Shadows of Valentia, or they would announce, you know, Metroid, Samus Returns, and people would just get real salty whenever they would announce like 3DS games at Nintendo Direct. So they had to do something to kind of circumvent that type of stuff. So they would announce, sometimes they would announce games like early, like well ahead of time in that sense, but they don't have to worry about that now. They don't have to worry about that now at this point because they're not supporting any other separate platform like that. So yeah. So that's kind of how it worked beforehand. Let's see here. Did you check out the final RE9 preview? The first RE game I'm buying since RE4 GameCube. I did not check out the final RE9 preview because I'm already sold on the game. So there's no reason for me to watch another preview of the game. There's no point, you know, just because I'm already going to pick it up. You know, I'm already going to get it. So there's no need for me to, you know, watch another. I could watch a preview of it. So yeah. What's up, Juice Music? Welcome. What's up, OJ? Star Fox Assault 2 for the Nintendo Direct. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know about that one, but hey, you never know, right? I mean, Nintendo they've brought out some crazy surprises before in the past, so I wouldn't put it past them to do that, but I also wouldn't put it past all of you guys to hit that like button. If you have not hit that like button, just go ahead and hit that like button. Let them know that we're streaming right now. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and hit that like button. Let's go. Hit the hype button too if you got that one. Let's see here. So yeah, Nate actually had quite a number of predictions. He talked about Metaphor ReFantazio potentially coming this year. He talked about Expedition 33. He actually talked about a number of big games. I think Stealth gave us the rundown here. So let me go on Stealth's Twitter page. He gave us the rundown of everything that that Nate was talking about there. And I watched the whole show myself. I just usually click off the show once people start asking questions, man. They got some, like, I don't like the question part of the show because people there, I just don't feel like listening to their stupid questions. No, they're actually good questions. It's just some of them are stupid. All right. I don't mind answering a bunch of questions here, but I don't feel like hearing other people's questions like that. So, but I watched the large majority of the show. I watched the large majority of this show, all the way up until the question segment. So let's see here. So here's what, Nate the Hate said. Like, when it comes to third party, his predictions were Expedition 33, Metaphor ReFantazio, FF7 Rebirth, Yakuza Like a Dragon games, Infinite Wealth Like a Dragon, Red Dead Redemption 2, Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4, which I told you guys that's coming. Doom the Dark Ages, Final Fantasy 16 under consideration. And then for first party predictions for 2026, we talked about 3D Mario was a big holiday release, Pokemon Gen 10, another holiday release, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Definitive Edition, which was an interesting discussion that he had on that. Switch 2 editions, maybe like Pikmin 4 and Nintendo Switch Sports, significant Mario Kart World DLC, and a new Zelda remaster or remake, which that seems pretty safe and pretty logical. Hey, hit us with a Monolith Soft, something, you know, Monolith Soft, whether it's a remaster, remake, something from Monolith Soft, Switch 2 edition, new Gen 10 Pokemon, new Mario game, you know, and Switch 2 editions. That just seems, and then like Zelda remaster, maybe a new announcement of a new Zelda game too. So that just seems very, you know, that seems very likely with everything that he predicted there. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Attack of the Backlog? Yo, welcome to the stream, brother. How you doing today? Shout outs to Attack of the Backlog. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him on or follow him on Twitter and subscribe to his channel on YouTube as well. He's got some cool stuff that he teams up with Nash Weedle to talk about video game stuff, Nintendo stuff. So yeah. I got baited by some Temu Resident Evil thinking it was a demo. Oh man. So yeah. As a Sony and Nintendo, I would say latter has one bleak franchise, not Childish, Zelda, Famicom, Detective Club, Turok, Metroid, Mother, etc. It's an FTC fan. Emilio is hardcore. Okay, no problem. Let's see here. So yeah, Ubisoft had to shut down Watch Dogs. I mean, that's the rumor about Watch Dogs, but we'll see what happens in the future. I don't know if Watch Dogs is going to be completely done or not. I know, you know, they've talked about it and there's been rumors. But yeah, I mean, I discussed this on the Spawncast. I was like, yo, you know, what is going on with Ubisoft and their terrible management. The fact that we haven't got like a new Splinter Cell, a new Ghost Recon, a new Rainbow Six, like these are the staples, and they're just like sitting on their thumbs when it comes to some of this. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Ubisoft. They're definitely going through some problems. We'll see if the big 10-cent purchase comes through though. Shoutouts to It's Johnny with the big $10 dono. Oh, 1 penny below Jumpmon though, so I can't put you up as the stream ninja and stream Hokage. But here's what I can do. I can hit you with the combo break, my boy Johnny, and I can hit you with that 30-minute extension. Let's go.
Overclock Buster!
Yes, sir. Stream clock extended. We got a full 30 minutes extra based on the support from you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We can get another 15 minutes added on with 11 more combos. Let's go. Shout outs, guys. I appreciate that. Let's go for the 1 hour extension. So yeah. Big love to Johnny. Thank you for the JoJo, man. I appreciate that. 1 penny off though, almost. But we still got Jumpman at the top. Anybody that's 10 or more, you beat out Jumpman on the board. Trying to hit for the 103 streak as well. Let's see here. I'm doing good, man. Attacking the backlog. I'm doing good, brother. Thanks for coming out to today's stream. I appreciate that. I'm definitely lurking in your content all the time. You know, I know you guys do your best to put the, I try to put the subtitles on and stuff like that. So I know we don't speak the same language native, but you speak a lot more English than I speak of your language. At least you can understand me, So I gotta work on my language, bro. I gotta work on it. So I appreciate that. That's one thing that I appreciate with a lot of the content creators. You guys, do your best to try to reach out to other people, that speak different languages. So shout outs, man. I appreciate that. And thank you for the gifted membership, man. You're always welcome here on the channel. You're always welcome. Big love to you and Nash Weedle. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys. Let's go. 37 on the combo board. You guys give him some love to Attack of the Backlog. Alvin. Yo, Alvin got the membership. Hey, yo, let's go, man. Let's go. Doubt Dreamcast. At best, we see Game Gear. To be honest, not really worth revisiting Game Gear. I mean, sometimes it's good just to have some of those old school platforms. I mean, I don't even know if Virtual Boy is worth revisiting, but Nintendo already had a Virtual Boy emulator for their museum or whatever, so you might as well just go ahead and put that on the Nintendo Switch 2 while you're at it, or Switch or whatever. So yeah, man. Oh man, the subtitles kill me. I appreciate you, dude. Big fan, gotta run because it's 1 a.m. All right, man. Have a nice stream, or sorry, have a nice sleep. Get some rest. There's gonna be a lot of good stuff to talk about, and I'll definitely be checking out. Yeah, the subtitles. I know they're not accurate, but I mean, hey, man, it's what I got for now until I learn. Take it easy, man. Let's see here. But it's all good. Yo, Epic Globster, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Big love, big love. Big love to Johnny. Big love to Attack of the Backlog. Thank you guys for the support. Let's go. 37 on the board. 5, 6, 7, 8 combos away. Let's go. Benor says, just got here. I don't know if you already talked about it, but what do you think of Nate the Hate Switch 2 predictions? Yeah, we literally just discussed that. And it seems logical. All of his stuff seems pretty safe. 3D Mario, Zelda Remaster, Remake, Gen 10 Pokemon. Like, these are like Switch 2 editions. These are all things that are, those are the safest bets. Those are the bets that are going to get the most people excited to buy the hardware that maybe haven't bought it already. Pokemon Gen 10 is going to be huge. I've seen some content creators say, oh, well, they already did Pokemon Legends ZA. And it's like, yeah, that's Legends ZA. That's not a new generation of Pokemon. You guys gotta realize they already did this one time before. A lot of people forget. Remember, in 2022, I made a video on this with IGN, how they were off. They kind of misfired. 2022, they literally did it in the same year. Pokemon Legends Arceus came out in January 2022, and then Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out in November of 2022. So they're no stranger. They actually did it another time as well. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out in November of 2018, and then Pokemon Sword and Shield came out the following year, in fall 2019. So they've done this where they have a back-to-back like offset Pokemon game that's still mainline but offset, or like a remake or a different type of game, and then they have like the main new gen Pokemon. They've done this multiple times, and that definitely seems like the plan here for Pokemon Legends ZA for last year, and then this year Gen 10 Pokemon Wind and Wave, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever the case is. So yeah, that seems very likely overall when it comes to all of that. So yeah, absolutely. Let's see. So I just got DS NSO would be come to both Switch 1 and Switch 2, or just Switch 2. I'm predicting it just be exclusive to Switch 2. I mean, we don't know. I'm not sure if it would come to both or not. I mean, it could, or it could not. I'm not sure. The thing about NSO is that it's got to be strong enough for the emulation, right? It's got to be strong enough for the emulation. So GameCube, in order to emulate GameCube right, you have to have a system that's like several times stronger than it. It can't just be a little bit or like a considerable bit. It's got to be like several times stronger for it to run well, and to have to have everything run the way that you want it to run. I mean, yes, Switch 1 is definitely multiple times stronger than the GameCube, but I think that there'd be some issues on the Switch 1 with GameCube. Like I said, not every single game, but there would be some issues. Whereas the Switch 2, it's strong enough to emulate Switch 1 games. So therefore, you know it's going to be. Now, DS, obviously, Switch 1 and Switch 2 are several times stronger than a Nintendo DS. So from a technical perspective, I don't think it would be a problem, unless they're just trying to sell more NSO plus expansion pack, subs. So, but from a technical perspective, when it comes to just the power itself, no, it should be able to emulate it. Plus we have games that are emulated properly from the DS onto the Switch 1. So yeah. I can't believe Nintendo didn't put Virtual Boy on 3DS. It's wild, but thankfully modders did. Glasses free, the way to experience them. Yeah. It's unfortunate they didn't, because that would have been great. Well, I mean, I don't like Virtual Boy, but it would have been great for people who like Virtual Boy, for like the 17 people that like Virtual Boy. Oh man. As a Famicom Detective Club fan, MEO is one of the darkest, bleakest games ever made by Nintendo. It's for me the most brutal one since the N64 era, maybe. Yeah, probably, or maybe even like GameCube era with Eternal Darkness. So yeah. Pokemon fans eating good, depending on who you speak with, but yes. Question is, will Gen 10 still be cross-gen or something? Something tells me it might be. No, not based off of the leaks. Off of the leaks and based off of what they're doing from a technical perspective, it does seem like it's going to be exclusive to the Switch 2. So I don't think it's going to be cross-gen. I think this one's going to go Switch 2 only, based off of what we've got so far. Just hopped in, but did you see the pics of Pokemon Park in Japan? They look so good. I did not see the pics yet. I'll check them out later for sure, though. Yeah, there also is Tomodachi Life Direct that's happening in 3 days from now. So the 29th. So that's going to be this Thursday. I might stream that because I think it just might be interesting to look at that game. I'm not a big Tomodachi Lifer, but it's got a pretty big audience. So yeah, maybe if I wake up, we'll do it. It's going to be one of those things to where it's going to be like the Mario Bros. Movie Direct. Like, if I'm up, if I go to sleep and I'm up, I'll do it. If I'm not, then I won't. Then it's not going to happen, So yeah. Let's see, AOJ, it's nice to see Final Fantasy VII Remake Switch 2 sell like hotcakes, and it's a game key card. Even though I prefer physical, I don't mind key cards, just want to play the game. Yeah, we're going to get to that in just a bit. I did make a video on it, and yeah, it looks like FF7 Remake is doing pretty well. So that's good. Hey, what's up, Mr. Davis? Welcome to the stream. I'm glad that I'm your favorite YouTuber. So shoutouts. I'm predicting there'll be a open direct with Monolith Soft new game. Oh, okay. Mario Kart World DLC will be in the middle, and they'll close with a glimpse of new 3D Mario. That's not a bad layout there, Artisan James. Yeah, I think that usually opening with the Monolith Soft gets people's blood boiling. You can close with the Monolith Soft, you can open with the Monolith Soft. Like, good openers are usually a Monolith Soft game can open, or something Monolith Soft like, Smash Brothers DLC, like Pyramithra, or like something like Fire Emblem games have been good openers before in the past. Yeah, like that's obviously possible. Monolith Soft games can also end directs too. They've ended directs. Heck, they ended the what's called 2019. They ended that one with Monolith Soft with Xenoblade Definitive Edition. So, so yeah, we'll see for sure. We'll see how, you know, we'll see what they do. But yeah, that's not a bad spread, you know, when it comes to all of those games. So yeah, let's see. It's weird to think that the reality in which Nintendo would never made a hybrid system, the landscape right now would be so different. I think Nintendo would be in more trouble. They'd sell significantly less, or they'd have to conform to what Microsoft and Sony are doing. And once again, they could have had success with that. Maybe they say we're going all in, but the problem is that you're giving up so much money in the portable space, but they couldn't continue to separate the two. When it comes to home console and portable, and the tech wasn't there, and it's still not quite there to get a portable on the same level of like a PS5 for a reasonable price. So like logistically speaking, it's almost impossible to do like the split and have both games be playable, at least at the time Nintendo would do it. So I mean, they had to make a hybrid, you know. Just thankfully they decided to wait a little bit more. The late Satoru Iwata, he was set on the Tegra K1, man. He was gonna use that damn Tegra K1. And that would have been a disaster. I mean, it would have been a complete disaster, but it would have been like, it would have been, that wouldn't have been good. That wouldn't have been good. There'd be problems, bro. Because the Tegra X1 was barely strong enough as it is for a lot of this stuff. And like, imagine if they're using that K1. Oh no, like you're essentially getting, you're getting a 3DS, but you're getting better than the 3DS, but you're not getting anywhere near as good as the Switch 1, you know? And you're getting like, maybe like around Wii U, probably lower than Wii U in some respects. So that would have been a disaster. So I'm glad that they waited. I'm glad that they saw that the you know, the Tegra X1, and they decided to pivot, because at least the X1 gives them just enough juice, man. Just not enough for a lot of stuff, but just enough, you know, just enough. But yeah, that would have been, I mean, it would have been way cheaper though. So I mean, that'd be one good thing that it would have going for it. The last Tomodachi Life sold like 7 million plus copies. So Tomodachi Life is actually pretty popular. It's a pretty popular franchise for some reason. Well, for reasons that people that play it will tell you. How about that? Many elitists that criticize people for not liking every Nintendo or Sony franchise. I think you've already talked about this, Miguel, so I've already answered this question on your way. I mean, I don't care if you don't like every single one from Nintendo or PlayStation. That doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. So I think I already answered that from you. FF7 on Switch 2 is my first FF7 universe. It's so good, I feel like I ruined my expectations for Switch 2 ports, though. I'm not sure if it's ruined your expectations. I mean, we already had Star Wars Outlaws that's just as good as Final Fantasy in terms of resolution and performance, and actually, it's actually better in terms of performance. It runs at a stable 30 FPS. The frame pacing's just as good, or right about as good, and it runs at a higher resolution docked as well. So Star Wars Outlaws is right there with FF7, and I mean, unlike you know, FF7 is not open world. Star Wars Outlaws is. Also on top of that, Assassin's Creed Shadows came out, and that also was running and looking really good as well. So I don't know if that would ruin your expectations for ports when we've already had, you know, 2 games that came out before FF7 that were fantastic ports that ran and looked good. Also Street Fighter 6, that also ran and looked really good on the Switch 2 as well. So yeah, I mean, Yakuza 0, that ran at 4K 60. You know, like the list kind of goes on. So yeah, I don't know about that one. Don't get me wrong, like FF7 Remake, the game looks spectacular. It is fantastic, but we've had a lot of other ports that have ran and looked very good in comparison to the Xbox and PlayStation versions. So yeah. Let's see here. K1 was weaker than the Wii U. That would have been a disaster. That's what I'm saying. It would have been a disaster. And it looks like they're going to just do straight up just like a portable that you can project to a TV, or that you can put on your TV through some type of way. That's what it seemed like they were trying to do with that one. But I don't know how far that got off the ground. It was just in some of the stuff that came out later after Mr. Iwata passed. But yeah, like, yeah, I'm glad that Mr. Iwata was there for the picking of the X1. He wrote off on that. He believed in the Switch 1. That's like, he wanted it to be the tech. It's not like, oh, he passed away, then they did something else. they already solidified the Tegra X1 before he passed away, and that was part of his thing, you know. So yeah, that's his legacy, man. So the Dustblood should also get a new trailer and release date. I hope as well. I think the Dustbloods maybe should get something. Yeah. Let's see here. Are gun and ball gamers mad at Tomodachi Life? I don't think anybody's mad at Tomodachi Life. It's just the same people who don't understand how Nintendo markets games and stuff, saying, "Oh, they're not going to do a regular direct," and it's like, no, they've done this before, where they have directs beforehand and then they have like a big direct, or they have something else, you know. So yeah. So yeah. Arkham's Grim says, "What up, OJ? Managed to grab FF7 Remake game key card at Walmart. Too bad it doesn't include magic cards for some reason." Every physical release should include those magic cards. I don't know why it doesn't. But I thought every single physical release does. But yeah, it's unfortunate I guess it's not in there. Yeah, Cyberpunk as well. Yeah, we had Cyberpunk as a big, you know, port over from Xbox and PlayStation. So yeah, I mean, FF7 Remake doesn't surprise me. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a PS4 game. I mean, yes, this is based off the PS5 version, but it's a little bit of a hybrid between the two from a technical perspective, in terms of how good it looks, at least. They ported over the PS5 version because the lighting and stuff is different and better. The resolution's more clear, DLSS, all that good stuff. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. That one doesn't surprise me, but I'm glad that it's really good. But the thing about it is that FF7 just has really good graphics, just in general. Like, FF7 Remake just has really good graphics. So even on the PS4, the game looks fantastic, you know? So I think that's one thing that you're seeing, like, oh man, look at how good the game looks. The game was literally a top-end, high-tier, you know, from a visual perspective, from like a character model perspective and all that, one of the best on the PlayStation 4. And even if you look at the PS5, it's one of the best looking games on PS5 as well. Like, it's not even, you know, like Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is one of the better looking games on PS5, because, you know, we're at this point, we're at the law of diminishing returns, where like art style goes a long way, because a lot of games have really nice models with a lot of, you know, detail and stuff. So yeah. They could do a partner direct, but we'll have to wait and see. It does seem like it's going to be more of a mainline direct though, Felipe. But it could be partner, but it's probably going to be a mainline direct based off of what we've gotten in the past. Let's see, art style does a lot for FF7. Yeah, it's got a great art style. Yeah, it's got a really, really, really good art style, but it's also got really good models and technical, like, you know, the graphics are really good too, like the explosions and like the character detail, and that's also really good too, you know. So yeah. Let's see, Tomodachi Life is a weird, fun game. I liked it. It'd be nice if I had one, if the new one had multiplayer with friends. I hope it does, because it does seem like it does based off of some of the trailers, but we'll get more details on the multiplayer and all that type of stuff later, you know. So DF doubled down on it being pure wrong on their Switch 2 prediction. I think they are rage baiting at this point, to be honest. You know, I don't think that they're rage baiting. I think that the thing with Digital Foundry is that, you know, they were always wishy-washy, sketchy, etchy about a lot of things, and they purposefully did that to give themselves an out. Now, they still have a business to run, and they still all have their own level of ego or not, considering how long they've been doing this. But yeah, like, they doubled down on them being wrong. I mean, the main guy, Ledbetter, he basically flat out said it's going to be weaker than the Steam Deck, you know, so he was wrong. And I wish he would have came out there and just said, you know what, yeah, I was really wrong about that. And it ended up being significantly better, and it is what it is. But he did it. You're right in a degree. He kind of was like, no, well, this, but dude, you said this. It's going to be significantly weaker than the Steam Deck. You said that. There was nothing in the leaks beforehand that said that, because Doc Trey 81, who's not a big Digital Foundry technical guy, he saw the stuff just like you saw the stuff, and he was like, no, it's going to be stronger than Steam Deck. So if he was saying that it was going to be stronger than Steam Deck, there's zero reasons for technical experts like you guys that have access to everything that he has access to, and then some, and actually teams, you know, there's no reason for you to say that. So that's the thing, you know, that's the thing with them. I wish they would have took a little bit more responsibility. They were kind of just brushing it off, or at least like the main guy was. I do think that one other guy, who's the Nintendo guy with the glasses, I forgot what his name is, Dark One or whatever. I like him. He's not a bad guy. He's one of the Nintendo guys on there. He wasn't vibing with all that if you watch what he's kind of like, he ain't saying nothing. He's like, nah, y'all were wrong. He's like, nah, y'all were wrong. Stop the cap. He's looking like, man, y'all out here capping. He's looking like, nah, y'all out here with the cap. But he didn't say nothing. Obviously, that's his boss and everything, but it was hilarious. Oh, man. What's up? Gaming Manor? Welcome. What's up, Zombie Tech Pad? Welcome to the stream. What is good? What is good? I've heard physical FF7 is limited to MTG cards in it. They'll be done with that soon. Just to hear. Great live show as always. Oh, okay, cool. Plus, I'd rather Digital Foundry underestimate Switch 2 capabilities and end up impressing than get everyone rizzed up only to have disappoint. That's what they said. The problem, though, was that they were saying it's going to be... You don't need to say significantly weaker than Steam Deck. That was not needed, and there was nothing in the leak docs or anything like that that said it was going to be significantly weaker than Steam Deck. There was no need for that. So I get, not getting the expectations, but also it makes it sound like you don't know what you're talking about, because it's not significantly weaker than Steam Deck. What you should have just said is like, hey, look, maybe it has around Steam Deck performance, maybe it's going to be a bit higher, maybe a bit lower, be like definitive. Like, if you're not sure and you're saying, oh, things are subject to change, don't go. He literally said it definitively. Oh, it's gonna be way weaker than Steam Deck. He just flat out said it, and it's like everyone's thinking, based off of what? Like, what's gonna make it way weaker than Steam Deck? Based off, like, he said it definitively. So if you're not sure because you're going off of rumors and leaks and whatever, then just be like, phrase it that way. Don't phrase it because you're the professional here, right? You're the expert here. Don't phrase it like it's the definitive thing. Like, I think it was pretty definitive that we knew that it wasn't going to be stronger than the PlayStation 5. So yeah, it's not going to be stronger than PS5. That's fine. Say it that way, but don't say that with Steam Deck. There was nothing in the leaks that said that. So he reached on that one to seem smarter than what he knew. So that was the problem that I had with that, right? That was the issue there. Kirby Air Riders update just got released. Kirby Air Riders update. Oh, that's good. It's par for the course of people to make claims but say little when they're wrong. Yeah. We'll say to Oliver from DF, it's all right to admit. I mean, Oliver wasn't on that episode. That's the penguin looking dude. Oliver wasn't on that one. It was the other one. It was the other guy, and then it was like the hardcore PC dude with the hair, and then it was the older bald guy. So those were the three that were on that one. Yo, Elvin Ryan, thank you for the $2 dono. Appreciate that. Shout outs. 39 on the board. We are out here. 6 combos away from that 45-minute extension. Let's go. Combo breaks. Big love. But yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to make it seem like it's the most powerful thing ever like some people were doing. Don't do that. But also don't sit there and say that it's significantly weaker than Steam Deck and that's not even close to being true. Don't do that, So yeah. I didn't know they said significantly weaker than Steam Deck, though I did see them laugh at Star Wars Outlaws saying it would be sub 720p with the choppy frame rate. Yeah, they did. And that's the thing, though. That's the thing, because even at one point, they were still thinking like Steam Deck is like stronger. Like they were writing that even through once Nintendo showed the games. I think that's why people tried to kind of like low-key call them out. Or even if you look at the video, the comment section, they're getting ripped to shreds in that video. If you go to that DF comment, they're getting absolutely torn to shreds. Because people are like, dude, you guys were sitting here even after they showed us the games. They showed us Street Fighter. They literally analyzed it and they were still talking stupid. Even after that, the games did not look lower than Steam Deck. The games did not perform lower than Steam Deck, yet they were sitting there and still kind of holding true to a lot of those beliefs. Now, I get it with Star Wars Outlaws. Like, I get that because, Star Wars Outlaws, that's a big beast of a game, but, once again, DLSS, proper optimization, good engine, good engine, and Snowdrop engine is good. Ubisoft definitely optimized the Snowdrop engine because Snowdrop engine runs on Switch 1. The Mario plus Rabbids games, that runs on the Snowdrop engine. And there's a few other games that they use that runs on Snowdrop engine too. So I think that engine just has good compatibility with Nintendo platforms just to begin with. And then you have a platform that has really good strength, like, moderate strength. And then you also have, you have tensor cores, you have DLSS, you have all these tools. So I think Star Wars Outlaws, and you know, once you chop that frame rate in half, all of a sudden you got a lot more room to maneuver, right? When it comes to other things in the game, because you don't have to worry about the 60 FPS, you know, because remember, it runs at 60 FPS on Xbox and PlayStation. Well, on the Xbox Series X, it runs at 60. It runs at 30 on the Xbox Series S, but it runs at 60 on Series X and PS5. So there you go. One thing I learned, he's a no BS guy. Can't just be saying anything. I mean, here's the thing, man. A lot of times the problem with people online, bro, is that they just be saying anything. They just be saying anything. So yeah, I'm kind of a no BS guy. And you know, people see that, like, you know, in my vids, or you see that on my Twitter. You know, people will be like, "Oh man," just the other day, like with Juice Man Bond. You know, some guy was like arguing with Juice, and I'm like, "All right, let me just go in and let me just end this guy's whole situation," because he's like, "Oh yeah, the Switch 2, it's not worth it. It's not worth the price." And I'm like, "It's not worth the price?" I'm like, based off the specs, the power, the fact that it comes with the dock, it's actually worth the price based off the components that we know. It probably costs around that, or if not, they're selling it at a slight loss, because Nintendo Prime broke down the components of shipping, taxes, everything, and said, yo, look, they're probably selling this at a loss. Somebody, you know, Juice Man Vaughn quote tweeted that. Somebody responded to Juice, and I'm like, listen, break it down for me then, because he said it's not worth it. I said, break it down for me. D-Generation X, break it down. I said, what are the costs? Give me factually the cost of components, tariffs, taxes, parts. And he was like, well, I can't. I looked it up. I researched it for like a little bit, and it said $400 to $300. I'm like, okay, so you don't know. So you just talking. You know, you just talking. So a lot of people just like to talk. They like to yap because they have their own personal beliefs, and that's fine. You're allowed to have your own personal beliefs, but don't start saying it's this or this definitively or factual when you don't have the evidence to back that up. That's all I ask. You know, now if you want to preface it by saying, hey, look, I don't know this 100%. It's not this, I'm just going off of what I think, then that's fine. Then people are just gonna say, okay, you're wrong, but I understand it's just your opinion on things, but don't speak in a factual term, because that's how misinformation spreads. We saw that with the Switch 2. We saw grifters make thousands of dollars off of fake, false information, right? Remember that? Remember the whole grifter arc? Actually, it's still going on right now. We still have grifters and frauds that are manipulating data, to the point to where when I talked about it, John was like, oh yeah, the Switch 2 is doing good. And I'm like, well, not everybody thinks that. Or I said something along the lines of that. And he's like, wait a minute, hold up, what's going on here, right? Because John doesn't see that, because he doesn't, obviously I don't watch the videos either, but John doesn't stream every single day, right? He doesn't have people coming to his stream and ask him about this, and he doesn't care about a lot of this other stuff. So he didn't know about the grifters that are making videos like, oh, it's not doing so well, right? Like, so, whereas like Nate the Hate talked about it today, there was no issue. Like, oh yeah, Switch 2 is doing well. Everybody normal is saying that it is, but there's going to be a subsect of people that know that they can make a lot of money, or a lot of money in YouTube pennies sense, lying or manipulating data. Basically manipulating data, you know, acting like it's worse than what it is, acting like all of a sudden Switch 2 has to sell just like Switch 1, or it's a failure. Like all these stupid things that we know are ridiculous, right? So yeah. People tend to underestimate how much these consoles cost to get produced and shipped. They do. People do underestimate it. Because like he's saying it costs $300 to ship a Switch 2. That's insane. It does not cost $300 to the components to make a Switch 2 are not only $300. So like I said, people are just stupid. Some people are just stupid. So yeah, it's weird. Let's see. Oliver needed to be there because he was the loudest and one of the most wrong. Seemed like he was ducking smoke. Maybe he was busy doing something else, Frankie. They really announced Switch 2 edition of Xenoblade 2. I'll go nuts. That'd be nice. I would like them to do all the Xenoblade games. That'd be great. Tiny DLSS is brilliant to me because even though it doesn't resolve fully in movement, the thing that you can notice jagged edges or things in motion, it's a smart approach. Yeah, and I think that it's gonna get better as time goes on. You know, So yeah. What is OBS? OBS is open broadcast software. It's a free streaming platform, or free streaming software that anybody can download it, start streaming games. You can use it to record your games. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. Digital Foundry makes the mistake of making their comparable PC builds, building the expectations based around that. They underestimate how much Windows bogs the system down. They do, and that's why I never bought in to their equations. Like, oh, you take like a PC. This is not a PC. You're coding to the metal. They're coding to the metal, and they said that themselves, but I never was a fan of their PC tests because they do the same thing, and they literally said that, oh, well, the same thing could happen like Switch 1, because remember, they said that the Switch 1 was like weaker than the 360 and the PS3. They also messed up on that too. They said the Switch 1's gonna be like weaker than 360 or something like that, or weaker than PS3. And then, of course, real world performance, Switch 1, did I say Switch 2? I meant to say Switch 1, weaker than them. Switch 1 outperforms PS3 and 360 pretty nicely. So that was the funny thing when it comes to, they made the same exact mistake that they made last time. Even though they know that coded to the metal, they know that a dedicated system with APIs and a system built specifically for gaming without Windows is going to be able to punch harder, pound for pound, and they still made the exact same mistake with Switch 2. That's the funniest thing. They made the same mistake with Switch 1, you know? So yeah. Prediction on GCN online game to be announced during the Direct. Phantasy Star Online. Let's go. Phantasy Star Online. They trying to say FF7 is a flop on Switch 2. Who's trying to say FF7 is a flop on Switch 2? Sorry, you guys might hear my son in the background. He's upset about something, so mom's gonna help him out there. So sorry about that if you hear him, because he's like right around. He's like swirling around the corner, upset about something. Michael with the subscription. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate that. Let's go. Let's see here. I feel like Xenoblade 2 will be the first to get the Switch 2 update. I hope so. That game needs it the most out of all the Xenoblade games. So that'd be good. I'd be down for that. Big love to Michael. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you have not hit that subscribe button, man. I appreciate that. The fact that they used a downclocked RTX 2050 to gauge Switch 2 hypothetical performance was embarrassing. Yeah, I mean, it's just something that you just shouldn't do. And like I said, I watched the video when they did that. I watched it, but I never really paid too much attention to it. It's not like I went out there and was like, oh, okay, yeah, I believe all this. It was just like, okay, whatever. Oh, and make sure you guys check out my most recent video, my Final Fantasy VII sales video. You guys are eating that one up, man. 310 comments, 97% like ratio. You guys really like that vid. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you put it in your watch later. I thought it was a fun video to make too. I had fun making it yesterday because I was right. I was 1000% right about Final Fantasy and what Square Enix would do. I was 100% right. I was 1000% right. I feel like I'm not like I'm going to get credit from on a wide scale, but I was the person saying that Square Enix needs to do this. I said this back in the day. I said this. People would downvote my videos. People would say, OJ, you're just fanboy. I'm like, no, y'all are going to see Square Enix is going to run into problems. You can't just be doing, like, you are ruining an opportunity. This could have been, imagine if they came up with a main big Final Fantasy built for the Switch 1 with that install base. Look at what they're doing with Switch 2 right now on a smaller install base with the old game. Imagine if they built something specifically for the Switch 1. They would have made a ton of money. It would have obviously been popular. Who do you think is buying Final Fantasy right now on Switch 2? It's Nintendo fans. So it's like, I was 1000% right with that. So it's good to be right. Good to be right. What's up, Yak Diesel? Welcome. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's not just Windows bloat. There's also console optimization and DLSS. Yep. Those three combined actually put a notable gap between expectations and reality. Even the Wii U was out. I'm pretty sure it was more powerful than both the 360 and PS3. It was. Yeah. It was. Just by a bit though. Like the real world performance of the PS3 and 360 compared to Wii U, it's hard to gauge sometimes because developers actually didn't try. Like, I can't think of one game from a third-party developer, major AAA game, where they're like, all right, yeah, this is like Wii U, we're going for it. Like, this is it, you know? I can't think of a single game. There was more games on Wii that developers did that for than the Wii U. Wii U, it was like, here's some ports that we're just gonna throw together really quickly, and then they just dropped the system. Nobody actually tried to make anything substantial from a third-party standpoint from AAA developers. Not a single one like that I can think of in my head. It was all just, oh, here's a port from take the 360 version, port it over as quickly as possible, and adapt it, and then here you go. There was nothing so far, you know, on the Wii U. There was nothing even like inventive, like there was some from like an indie perspective, but like not really, like nothing major, nothing like to like Expedition 33's level or something like that, you know. Let's see. seems to actively dunk. No, Digital Foundry loves Nintendo, guys. I'm not here to sit there and say Digital Foundry hates Nintendo. No, Digital Foundry's actually, if anything, Digital Foundry's actually been a benefit to Nintendo. Like, there's a reason why Nintendo decided to give them a sponsorship. I mean, if Digital Foundry hated Nintendo, I doubt they would give them the Zelda sponsorship. Like, I don't think so. I think Digital Foundry, they're big fans. I think the Penguin guy, Oliver, you know, the other guy, the glasses dude, with the brown hair, the Germany guy, that guy, he likes, the one that lives in Germany. He likes Nintendo a lot. He said, like, that's his favorite company. The big guy, the big old dude, I think he's kind of, he likes Nintendo. The only person that doesn't like Nintendo, the two people are like the long hair dude that they bring in sometimes. He doesn't really care for Nintendo. And then the other guy, the Alex guy, like with the little scar or whatever, that guy. Those two guys, they're not really big on Nintendo. But everybody else is for Digital Foundry. Everybody else is. I don't think that they're like haters or anything like that. I don't believe so. Not based on what I watch. I watch, you know, I don't watch everything, but I do watch their videos sometimes here and there. Zombie U. I'll give like Zombie U. Yeah, maybe Zombie U. But notice how Zombie U had really good, it had okay performance. It was sketchy in some areas, but it was okay. It had a unique concept. So yeah, maybe like Zombie U. That was it. Yeah, that'd be like the only game that I can think of. But even that game was like converted from like a Rabbids game and then like a Killer Clowns game and then to Zombie U, which was like a game that they made before Zombie, like a pseudo sequel or something. So, but yeah, like that's about it. If there was anything, that'd be like the one game. So yeah. Red still didn't come out on Wii U. You're naming Super Mario. You're naming games that were on like other platforms. Dragon Quest that was Switch 1. I mean, there was a Dragon Quest games, Dragon Quest 10 on Wii U, but I'm talking about games built specifically for the Wii U, not for Switch 1 or not for other platforms, other Nintendo platforms. Like Red Steel, that was made for that was a Wii game, and then that was just 2 Wii games. Look at Monster Hunter Rise, 10 million plus on Switch alone at this point. Basically what Monster Hunter Wilds has done across every platform. Yep, exactly. So it's like, look at all that money that Square Enix missed out on. I know that they were probably kicking themselves about that, you know? So yeah. I think the long hair guy likes Nintendo too. I don't know about the long hair guy. I've never heard him talk about Nintendo. I just see him every now and then. But maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But yeah, I don't think they're like Nintendo haters or anything like that. Let's see here. The long hair guy seems to just get stuck with Nintendo tech reviews, but he's just he's professional. Yeah, I'm not so sure. But once again, I just don't think that it's like some type of conspiracy against Nintendo or anything, or they're like grifters, right? Like, I don't think that they're like grifters or they're like, you know, some type of thing like that. And sorry about my son, guys. I know he's like bleh in the background. So yeah. Let's see here. Alex was confirmed to be a closeted Xbot pretending to be a PC vegan. I know there was some type of situation with him and some of the stuff that he said, but like Xbox and PC, it's like the same thing at this point, right? So he just likes, I think he's just a PC guy. I think he's just like and like obviously Xbox makes PC games, so he likes, probably just by default likes Xbox too, you know, which is nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with that too, by the way. I have no problem with people not liking Nintendo, hating this, hating that. You can like and dislike whatever you want, so I don't really care, to be honest. Affordable Space Adventures. I mean, yeah, there was that game, but like there wasn't much. John Lindman, there you go, that's the name of the guy. He's been on Nate's podcast a few times. Yeah, John Lemon, I don't think they're haters or nothing. No, I ain't gonna go that far. Let's see here. Thanks for recommending Mr. Rightway. I dig his channel. Yeah, Mr. Rightway is a great channel. Shout outs to Mr. Rightway. Absolutely. Do you think Nintendo will be the only traditional brand in the future? I mean, PlayStation will just disappear in Japan and go full third as Xbox. I hope it doesn't happen. I don't think so. I think Sony's still gonna, you know, be their brand and everything. I know Xbox has kind of, dissipated from that, but I do think that Sony's not gonna disappear. Yeah, they're getting absolutely destroyed, and that's true. They're getting absolutely destroyed when it comes to Japanese sales, but like they're doing good everywhere else. So since they're doing good everywhere else, that's fine. You know, they're doing all right there. So that's good, right? So they're doing good in that respect. So yeah. But yeah, Japan, they're getting bodied. When it comes to Kirby, I know Party Man talked about the Kirby Air Riders update. Just some little things. Scan amiibo in the paddock. You know, you can now try out courses solo and online during matchmaking, city trial stuff. Yeah, just some nice quality of life features and some things added in. Replay videos, we'll play it on the monitor. You know, this is just stuff like if you're into Kirby Air Riders, you can just play this game for forever. This is just, it's nice. So yeah, there you go. Kirby Air Riders update as well. John and Oliver love Nintendo. John went on a 4-minute tangent one time when folks trying to expect PS5 level graphics on the Switch 1, for example. Yeah, that's just stupid though. If anybody's I don't know why anybody would expect PS5 level graphics on the Switch 1. We all know that was not the case. Based off of just how Breath of the Wild looked, we already knew that was not the case. So yeah. Aren't they like 10 million in Japan? Sony? 10 million in Japan? No. I think they're around 7 million something or 8 million in Japan. So they're around that in Japan. They're not at not 10 million yet. No. So yeah. Maybe they'll add more music to the app later, Will Banks. So they've got a schedule for what music they add. So if it's not now, it'll be later. Let's see here. They added a Grand Prix mode too. A Grand Prix mode? Wait, hold up. What's this Grand Prix mode you're talking about? Well, they got balance adjustments too. A bunch of balance adjustments. Tons of. Okay, a Grand Prix mode. It's like where you can just play like a set number of tracks, and then like you can like whoever gets like the most points, something like that. I don't see Grand Prix mode here. Auto number version. Pro trip, everything resets. Yeah, okay. Cool though. Ability to play online with 2 players on the same system in quick matches. Ton of balance adjustments. Yeah, I didn't see anything about that, but maybe it's there. Bro, PS4 didn't even do 10 million in Japan, and PS5 ain't gonna do that. I mean, PS5 probably won't do 10 million in Japan, no, but I mean, it's got like around 7 to 8 million, I think. So the PS2 era PlayStation consoles have decent, but not like many PS2 because it doesn't appeal to everyone like Nintendo. Well, I mean, there's a lot of factors for that in terms of like price and certain things like that. Let's see. OJ, will you be hopping on High Guard? So, would you guys believe me if I told you that I already played High Guard? Would you believe me if I told you that I hooked up my PS3? Sorry, my PS5. I downloaded High Guard because it's only like a 20 gigabyte down. I downloaded High Guard. It was a pretty fast download though, to be honest. And I downloaded and I already played High Guard. And let's just say I didn't finish the match. I finished the training, but I did not finish the match. Not because it's not good. It's just not for me. I think that if I'm gonna play High Guard, I gotta play with homies. Like I gotta play with Party Man. I gotta play with like Chupa. Like I gotta be on comms. Like I mean, if you're not on comms and you're not playing that way, it's not very fun. You know, because people are just doing all sorts of stuff. But I think that if you get on comms and if you play with your friends, it's probably gonna be fun because like it plays super smooth. It runs at a good frame rate. The shooting feels like Apex or like Titanfall. It feels good. It feels good to play. It's just I didn't finish the match though, just because I didn't feel like finishing it. But yeah, it's there. It's there for you to download and play if you want to check it out. Hey, what's up, Wound Up Penguin? That's JCat. Says PS5 is at 7.35 million in Japan. Yeah. So yeah, I doubt that it's gonna hit 10 million, but I mean it could if there's an extended, if there's like an extended generation where like the PS5 lasts for like another like 7 years or so in Japan. I mean, there's a chance that it actually hits 10 million. There's a chance. Especially since they have like a cheaper model PS5 now. So yeah. Right around 9.5 million. Yeah. Like I said, I think it depends on how long the generation is, was reading some reactions to FF7, I think meant Trilogy on Switch 2, and I was surprised to see some Japanese PS fanboys on Nintendo, when Nintendo haters are angry to try to say they shouldn't make the games for weaker hardware. I did see a little bit of that, but that's such a small amount of people. It's not even really it's not that big of a deal, you know? So yeah, Sony will call Jim Ryan and will find 3 million PS5s. Yeah, somehow. What's up, Bubblegum Crisis? Yeah, it's free to play. You can just download it. It's free. Highguard's free to play. You just download it and play. I mean, it's all right. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad game. I think that you just need your homies. You just need your homies. Get 3 people, link up, you know, play the game, be on comms. And I think if you play it that way, it's kind of fun. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, a party man if you want to play sometime. Maybe, you know, I don't know. There's no Super Bowl this weekend, so there's no NFL. So maybe if you want to play this Sunday, maybe I'll do something this Sunday and we can play. Like, so if I'm on comms and we can actually, like, play together, like, with people that I like, then I'll probably think it's probably more fun, which is, like, a lot of multiplayer games. But would I play it just, like, myself, like, ranked and all that? But no, I probably wouldn't do that. No. But yeah, go download it. Go download it. It's on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. See what you think. See what you think overall, you know? See what you think with the game. If it looks like a boot up with the boys, yeah. By the time PS5 reaches 10 million in Japan, Switch 2 will be at 30. Maybe, we'll see. How many library framework is with gaming? Nintendo is straight first party, third party only if it's something generic. I don't know what you're trying to say, Will Banks, to be honest, man. Highguard looked fine to me, just not my style, that's all, yeah. Yeah, no, it's good though. It's not, I don't think it's like a Concord times 2. Like, it's not, people try to say it's like Concord 2. It's not like Concord. It's got like Greek type influences. What it reminds me of though, it does remind me of a game where they're like, hey, you guys like Rainbow Six Siege? Hey, you guys like Fortnite? Hey, you guys like Overwatch? Hey, you like Apex or Titanfall? Then this is the game for they took those games. It feels like, yeah, Fortnite, Apex to a degree, Titanfall to a degree, but yeah, Overwatch and Rainbow Six Siege. I think it feels the most like Overwatch, Fortnite, and Rainbow Six Siege. That's what it feels like. So if you've played those games, it's kind of like a combination of those. You have loot and you have gear that are color coded. You open up the packages, you know, you get that, but then you also can like reinforce your base. So if you played Rainbow Six Siege, you have like operators and infiltrators, and like the operators gotta like, you know, defend and reinforce walls. So and like the breachers or the infiltrators have to like break in and put charges on walls and blow them up, and then you have to like go like defuse a bomb or plant a bomb. Like that's the same thing with this game. You gotta like go like plant a charge in a base and then like plant another charge and then like blow up like the main thing. But then you also need to grab like this like high guard weapon to where like you can like siege their base, and it's like a Trojan horse, like where you have like the, you know, like the Trojan horse, where it like breaks their base open. So it's like a combination of a variety of different, you know, things. But yeah, it feels like, and then also Paladins kind of feels like Paladins, Overwatch, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege. That's the best way that I could describe the game. So if you like all of those, you'll probably like this game. And if you like, it feels like shooting wise, like Titanfall or like Apex, it has that same snappy, thick, you know, thick character, looking thick gun, very good shooting. Like, and if you're playing on PS5, the DualSense is very nice. Like the reloading of the bullets and stuff like that, like a revolver will like click reload and stuff. The guns feel different on the DualSense. So it's not from a technical perspective and from like a mechanics or gameplay perspective. There's a lot of stuff thrown in there that might make people say it sucks. Like I think like Evan, we were talking, I think he said it sucks. But I think that there's some value in there. I don't think it's a bad game. I don't think it's bad at all. I just think it's a little different. All right, shout out to Will Banks. Nah, man, thanks for coming out to the stream, brother. I appreciate you. Even with the cheaper model, JP only PS5 sales are already back to 10K weekly. So you don't know. Yeah, I mean there could be some other things, you know, that help it out. So we'll see though. I'll download tonight, see how it plays. Yeah, a Party Man. I'd like to play with Party Man with that game, so that'd be good if we can. Sorry guys, my wife was trying to help me put together the last piece of my room, and she wanted to know the size of a picture frame that she can go buy, because I have one more like Smash Brothers or Zelda pit poster that I want to put up behind me, and then my room's done. So I just need to send her the measurements for that, and then we can. All right, hold up. So just let me get her that. 23 by 23 by 29. All right, let's see here. From what I watched, each character has their own alts, and horse riding looks solid. Not my first choice for movement, but I'm glad it works well. Yeah, you can ride the horse to get around the areas, and yes, each character, like, you could, like, they have all like classes, right? So like each character has like their own like ultimate that they can do. Like the guy that I was like the black guy or the mixed guy, like, with the dread haircut that they showed off first, and like he has like a primal fury thing, like where he can break walls down without charges, and like he can, like, you know, unleash like a huge like rah, that's like, you know, that's like a beast. So it's actually pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool. It's not bad. It's not like a bad idea. Like I said, if you group up with the boys and play, I think it'll be fun. The boys and girls. Group up. If you group up and play, I think it'll be kind of cool. You know? I thought about streaming it, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to do all that. But yeah. What are you playing in the background? What music am I playing in the background? Oh, it's just like Street Fighter and like Sonic music and stuff like that. Are you going to remove the green screen? Yes, I'm going to remove the green screen. Well, I mean, I'm going to use it when I need it. So it's like reactions or like, you know, stuff like that. I'm going to use it, yeah. But like, yeah, I'm going to remove it. I mean, my room's pretty much done. It's not anything crazy, but I did spend some money on some new posters. I spent some money on some little bit of decorations. I spent some money, obviously, on the things to hang everything. I spent some money. I buffered and polished, and I actually took a lot of time. I have these shelvings, or these bookcases that I would use before, but they were dusty and kind of not crusty because they were quality. They were high quality when I bought them, but they're a bit dusty. So I went and bought some really nice polish and spent about a couple hours polishing it and making it look nice. Because I had a sponsor help me out a little bit with some stuff to get for the back in terms of like sponsoring the room. So got some nice little trinkets, got some things, nothing too crazy. I'm not trying to hype it up. It's nothing too crazy, but yeah. So yeah, but yeah, it fits more of my style because I never really used the green screen. I only started using a green screen once I moved into my new house here. But at my other house, I never used green screen unless I needed to make like a video or like a reaction. But outside of that, I always just had like my room in the background. But they were always kind of like empty for the most part, except for like when I was streaming like in 2018. Like I had a bunch of crap in the background sometimes, or sometimes it was just empty. So I want to have some consistency with my room at least this time around. But yeah, it's nothing crazy though, guys. Don't expect anything crazy. It's just a room. It's just a room with a few different posters here and there. So yeah. So something deserves discussion more. Sony literally lowered the PS5 price by a huge amount in Japan, and sales didn't register a blip on the radar. Now they're losing money. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that those digital PS5s are really making them anything, but they're hoping that they make the money back on software sales. So yeah. We need to play some multiplayer games anyway. Yeah, I think we might do some high guard. Maybe we'll do some high guard multiplayer. I think it could be fun, like if I'm playing with, you know, teammates. Should we get a full remaster of Mario Pinball Land? A full remaster of Mario Pinball Land? Probably not. I don't think there's any need to get a full remaster of that game. So yeah. Shout out 777 OG, double OG. You don't want to show off the collection? Show off what collection? What are you talking about? I've got some stuff in the background, like I said. When I do it, y'all will see. All right. So yeah. Since you have the Monado predict the future, is Baldur's Gate 3 ever coming to Switch 2? Probably not, based off of what the developers had to say, because it looks like from the license perspective, they're not in good standing like with the people that own the license for Baldur's Gate. So it doesn't seem like it's coming. But you know, you never know, it could. But yeah, right now it doesn't seem likely right now. So yeah. So yeah. Get out the Mario Pinball hogwash. We're Metroid Prime 4 Pinball Mafia around these parts. Yeah, some Metroid Prime 4 Pinball. Metroid Prime 4 Pinball. Here we go. So yeah. I'm really hoping Mario Tennis Fever ends up doing well too. I think it's gonna do decent. Like, we got some news. I don't know if you guys found out about this, but Koei Tecmo posted it really early in the morning. But it wasn't like widespread until a bit later. But yeah, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, that did over 1 million units. So that's a pretty good success. That in only a month and a half of tracking too. And it launched in a pretty loaded time period, like right there. And you know, you had Kirby, you had Metroid Prime 4, you had a bunch of other games out before it, right? It wedged in between Pokemon Legends, you know. So yeah, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, million sellers. So Kirby's probably a million plus seller. Hopefully Metroid Prime 4 is a million plus seller. So not bad for the first wave. We know Pokemon is big. So one thing that I noticed here though, I guess apparently it says Nintendo on Twitter said that FF7 Remake Integrate Switch 2 game keycard physical release is sold out at GameStop, Walmart, and Target. Still available on Amazon and Best Buy. That was 2 days ago. This is why are people mad this game's selling well? I think they're mad because it's game keycard. But apparently some people were mad that it's doing well. Let me see if it's still available though, because okay, yeah, it's still available at Amazon physical and Best Buy physical. So I didn't see it at Best Buy physical when I went to. Oh no, yeah, you can get it shipped, but it won't be here till February 2nd if you want the day one edition. So yeah, it won't be here till then. Amazon has it as well. Deku deals. Yep. You won't get it until February 2nd as well. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's doing well. But yeah, some people I think were, I don't know if they're mad, they're just trolling. You know? They're just trolling. So yeah. Amiibo is both singular and plural, right? I think so. And amiibo. I think so. I got my key card. Came with a pack of magic. Yeah. Pack of magic and the key card. That's all it needed. And people all of a sudden love love key cards now, man. That's all it took. My local Walmart only got 2 copies. Yeah, I think that the reason why it sold out lots of places is because Square Enix shipped 17 copies total worldwide to everywhere. So I think that's the reason why it's sold out in so many places. So yeah. Let's see here. The OG cover goes hard too. Yes, the OG cover is great. OG, why do you think Nintendo was suddenly making so many amiibos? I don't know, Felipe. Why do you go into work? Like, why do you go into work? You go into work to make money. Nintendo's probably making amiibo to make money. That's probably what that would be my guess. Why do you work? To make money. Let's see here. I heard a rumor that GTA 6 will be digital first to avoid leaks. I've heard about that, but we're gonna have to wait and see, you know. I knew everyone was gonna buy FF7 Remake despite it being a GameCube. I don't know if everyone's buying it. It says that it sold 4,000 bestseller, 4,000 people bought in the last month. Although I guess it's a pretty big shipment, like from Square Enix, at least for this, how late this game is. So yeah. Sony's sweating seeing FF7 selling on Switch 2 is top of the eShop. I don't know if Sony's sweating, but here's what I think. Okay, so there might be some truth to that. I think Sony feels like this is a threat. I think that they truly feel that this is like a real threat because they were insanely aggressive, like faster than they've ever been. When Switch 1 came out, they didn't really care. They didn't start dropping prices in Japan, and they didn't start giving massive discounts for Black Friday because of it. They were just like, yeah, whatever. You know, thought like almost the whole Switch 1 generation. But with the Switch 2, they've been very quick. It took them only 4 months to approve a whole new model of the PlayStation 5 to simply just counteract how well the Switch 2 was doing in Japan. And here in the US and in Europe, they discount the system by $100. They've never done a Black Friday discount this big. Then all of a sudden, miraculously, the year of the Switch 2 launches, then all of a sudden you have all these discounts, you have all these deals, you want to do all this stuff. So I definitely think that it spooked them a little bit, for sure. I definitely think that and then, obviously Sony used to have a Japanese monopoly on third-party AAA games. Like, let's just be real here, they did. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that they're shaking in their boots, but I absolutely feel that they think that they're probably losing out on millions of dollars now. Because in the past, all the sales would go to Sony for Final Fantasy. All the sales for Resident Evil in Japan would go to Sony. All the sales for a game like Pragmata would go to Sony. All the sales for a game like, whatever other games coming out, right? Resident Evil 7 and 8, like all those sales for a lot of these Japanese games AAA games would be exclusive to Sony. Now at this point, it's not becoming it. With the games that are launching day and date, for like Resident Evil Requiem, yeah, like there's going to be an offset of Japanese fans that are like, oh, well, I'm going to buy it on Switch now. I'm going to buy it on Switch 2 now. If it wasn't on Switch 2, they would have bought it on PlayStation probably. So I think Sony's a little worried about that because that's over the course of a generation. That might be billions of dollars. I think it's billions. It's definitely multiple millions and it's probably billions. So I think that they might be just a little worried about that. Not too much because they have their microtransactions, they have their other things. I don't think they're like, oh my gosh, Nintendo's going to steal. No, I don't think they're like that. Competition is competition. They know that competition is coming. They prepare for that. But I do think that I think that they're a little bit like, wait a minute, hold up. In Japan, because they did a permanent price drop, Japanese language model only. They didn't do that for the West. They just did a temporary for the West. But for Japan, they did it permanently. So they're trying to balance things out. So I think that they're sweating a little bit when it comes to Japan. Yes, absolutely. But I don't know about like the rest of the world. No, probably not. Let's see. For me, I stopped caring about key cards and accepted that I'll probably get them depending on the game. Although I rarely can say something for so long. Yeah, I feel you on that one, party man. Hey, what's up, Killer Ninja? Welcome. To be honest, OJ, Sony's second and third Japanese exclusive deals will still get to the state featuring PS1 era. Hope the Japan will still work with PlayStation. I mean, yeah, Sony's still gonna get a bunch of Japanese games. Nobody said anything about that. They suddenly start caring about Japan. Well, they always cared about their third-party revenue. The thing about Sony took it for granted though. They're like, oh, Nintendo's weak. They don't get the games that we get, so we got a monopoly on third-party games. Sony made a ton of money off of third-party games in Japan throughout the PS4 and PS5 generation. I mean, they made billions off of royalties from AAA third-party games. Now, that's not going to be as much as they would usually make, because before they had literally a 99.9%, because like nobody bought anything on Xbox in Japan. Nobody buys the games on Xbox. So like they essentially had, out of the console market, a monopoly on AAA third-party games. Now, yes, there were some Japanese gamers that buy it on PC. Yes, there were a small amount that would buy it on Xbox. Yes, sure. But the large majority would just buy it on PlayStation, and now they don't have that. So I'm guessing they're a little bit like worried about that, because they improved that Japanese language model only very quickly. So yeah. The Japanese devs monopoly, but somehow Nintendo was their best seller in Japan for the last 21 years. I meant AAA games, not everything, not a monopoly on everything. Obviously there's indie games, there's AA games that came to Nintendo platforms. What I'm saying is a AAA monopoly. If anything, it backfired because it shows the real demand for PS Japan is low. Maybe. Yeah, I guess, yeah. You're still gonna get... Sony doesn't need Japanese exclusive games. That doesn't make... what you're saying doesn't make any sense, Miguel. You're just, like, you're making up... Why does Sony need Japanese exclusive games? Like, what does that do for Sony to make games exclusive to the Japanese developers making games exclusive to Sony? What does that do? That's not going to dramatically improve the install base. Sony de facto had a bunch of Japanese exclusive games that were essentially only on PlayStation, because there was no Nintendo version. Monster Hunter World, that game was essentially a de facto PlayStation exclusive. They had all sorts of games. I mean, you look at like Dragon Quest. I mean, yeah, there was a 3DS version, but like the console version of that, the Switch 1 version came out years later. They've had AAA Final Fantasy 15, right? Like, look at the number of games that they've had that essentially are exclusives in Japan. And that didn't move the needle when it comes to console sales. So, like, when it comes to, like, it's not like they sold way more than Nintendo in Japan. So, I don't think that they need Japanese exclusives. Like, for what, you know? What's the point? Are you gonna stream the Tomodachi Life event direct? I might. If I'm up, I'll stream it. Falcom Idea Factory were de facto PlayStation devs. Yeah, those are smaller, you know, AA type developers. Idea Factory, that I don't even know what to classify them. Somewhere in between a AA and a single and an indie. Somewhere in between then. But like, yeah, like Idea Factory, Falcom, they got all the Legend of Heroes games. Like, they got everything de facto themselves, and that didn't result in them selling significantly better than Nintendo. So if you're a Japanese developer, think about it this way. Why would you make a game exclusive to the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5? Not at this point, or is at this point to the PS5. Why would you make a game exclusive when Switch 2 and Switch 1 sell significantly better and you can make way more money that way? Unless Sony offers you some type of crazy bag, it makes no sense to make the game exclusive, you know? I tried the High Guards tutorial today, and the game is cheeks. Went back to my daily Emerald Rush on Bonanza. Is it that bad? Did you actually play a match? I played a match. I thought it was okay. I think Sony could benefit from exclusive Souls games, and they know that. That's the reason Demon Souls is an exclusive, and they will do the same with Bloodborne for the PS6. Demon Souls came out going on 2 decades ago, Felipe. So, like, bro, there hasn't been an exclusive. Like, Bloodborne came out more than a decade ago. So, like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but, like, those are, like, decade, 12 years. I think Bloodborne came out in, what, 2015? So, 11 years ago for Bloodborne. And 17 years ago for for Demon Souls. So I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, and I don't know how well. I don't know how well that did. You know, I don't know how well that sold. I don't know how well that sold the PS3 and the PS4 in the grand scheme of things. I mean, Demon Souls Remake, it's not on PC. Demon Souls Remake. Demon Souls didn't help sell the PS5 though. That game, from what I understand, sold around 1 million units. It was not some type of big system seller. People were gonna buy the PS5 regardless. So I don't think Demon Souls is some type of massive, you know, I don't think Souls like having that exclusive is some type of massive thing to their business. I don't think that's not gonna make or break Japan. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying with that. That's not gonna make or break Japan. So yeah. In my opinion. Demon Souls was a failed Oblivion clone Sony tried to develop and Miyazaki fixed basically. Okay. And Xbox didn't get Monster Hunter World in Japan anyways, nor did Dragon Quest XL. Yeah. Shout outs to Momo with the $12 JoJo.
Supporting the stream.
Yo, support Momo with the JoJo and the support, yo. Hey, I appreciate that. Momo. Yo, 50, what was that, 51? 51 of the $12 dono, 51 on the board. Yo, we are out here. Let's go. Demon Souls was like a mess. Yeah, I don't think Demon Souls moved the needle for Japanese gamers. So yeah, I'm gonna disagree on that being some type of big thing that helped sell the system. I don't think it did. I think people were just gonna buy PS5 anyway. I mean, and it's not like people were buying Demon Souls like snap it up like crazy. I didn't sell like crazy numbers on PS5. So yeah, I disagree with that one. Shout outs though. Thank you so much, Momo. You are now the new Hokage with the big $12. Anybody that's 12 more, you can beat Momo out. Both. Shout outs. Appreciate that. Let's go. Thank you for the big 12. We are 9 combos away from the 1 hour extension. Let's go. I want Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin on Switch 2. I hope you get it. Dark Souls 2 Scholar of I'll Pass. No, shout out to Dark Souls. It's a good franchise. It's just not for me anymore. But no, I get why people like it. Hopefully we see Dustbloods at this next at the direct next week. I hope we see it too, man. I hope we see Dustbloods next. It's been a while since they've shown off that game, so. What would be your reaction if SpongeBob was in Smash? I'd be surprised because they don't do animation characters or like cartoon characters in Smash Brothers. What's up, the Great Wow? Welcome, man. How you doing? So yeah. Yeah, I just don't think that moves the needle in Japan. So if you go back and you look at the sales of Dark Souls or Demon Souls in Japan, that didn't do any type of crazy numbers or help push the needle in Japan. So Felipe, I get what you're trying to say, but you need actual proof and evidence that that's going to move the needle in Japan for like a Japanese exclusive. Oh, this is what's going to do it. That's going to help in Japan. You haven't proved it. You've just said a bunch of opinions. So I just think. I need numbers. I looked at the numbers. Nothing was too crazy with Demon Souls in terms of sales for the PS5 or in terms of actually pushing consoles in Japan. So at this point, if you want to continue, you got to give me some numbers. You got to give me something to back up what you're saying. Otherwise, we just move on, you know? Let's see here. I will never forgive Jim Ryan and Herman Holst to be involved in the Japan studio closure. My favorite studio, Sony studio ever. At least we still have Team Asobi. Yeah, we have Team Asobi. That's good. So yeah, shout outs Momo. I appreciate you, fam. Thank you for your support, brother. Let's go. The only ports I really need are Metaphor and Kingdom Hearts 4. I think Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming. I'd be surprised if Kingdom Hearts doesn't come to Switch 2. I'd be surprised if Kingdom Hearts wasn't announced. That Kingdom Hearts, like the collections, weren't announced at the next Nintendo Direct. I think those are definitely possible. Game keycard, of course. Let's see here. I want to know why. Do you think they keep it exclusive? Just because they feel like it. They just feel like keeping it exclusive because it was a instrumental game in terms of what it did, starting that that brand of popularity back then, and they just wanted to keep it exclusive, so they spent the money to keep it exclusive. They have a team that helped them make it, so they just decided to do it. That's the reason why. But it wasn't any type of big system seller or anything for the Japanese market. The numbers are there, so just go look up Japanese Famitsu sales 2020, and I think that came out. When did the PS5 launch in Japan? It launched in November, right? And you can see it's not like the PS5 did some type of crazy number afterwards and Demon Souls was selling crazy afterwards to help fuel console sales. So whatever Sony thinks or whatever they feel, that's fine. But that'd be like me saying, oh, Bayonetta is some type of massive seller for Switch 1. That's why they want to keep it exclusive. No, it's not. No, it's not. Like, it'd be like me doing that. No, it's not. They just want to keep it exclusive because they want to keep it exclusive. Because they feel like it's a good game and it'll make their brand more appealing. But that doesn't mean it's some type of big system seller and it's needed and it's some type of massive thing for the Japanese audience because Bayonetta 3 is an exclusive. Dude, it's not some type of massive system seller. It's not. Same exact thing. So it's just there. It's there. It's exclusive. Nintendo likes the fact that they have a quality game that you can play only on their platform. But we can't sit here and act like Bayonetta 3 or Bayonetta 2 was some type of massive boost to the Wii U or to the Switch 1, because it wasn't. You can look at the sales numbers. It was not. So that's it, man. That's all it comes down to. Demon Souls sold PS5s in Japan like Xenoblade sold Switches. Great games, but they're not really moving hardware to the core fans. Yeah, but even to a degree, like Xenoblade moves, from what I see, Xenoblade actually helped move more hardware than like a Demon Souls or something. But I need to go back and look at the numbers for like Bloodborne and like what Sony did. Actually, you know what? This is a good topic. We can look it up right now. Why we got the internet. Let's look it up. Let's see here. Let's look at Bloodborne. Bloodborne Media Create 20. What that game? 2015. Let's see if that came out. So I'm trying to find it. So Bloodborne did good. It sold 150K. And it definitely did good, but like look at the numbers here though. The PS4, it sold 150K, which is good. 152K for Bloodborne, but the PS4 only sold 45,000 units for that week. So it's not like it boosted the PS4 sales to extraordinary numbers. Like 45K is not terrible. It's not bad, but it's not great. You know, Switch 1 obviously sells sometimes as much as that or more than that, even not at this point in some weeks. And obviously Switch 2 pretty much obviously blows away those numbers. So, I mean, Bloodborne's a big game and it's good, but 45K for a marquee release like that, that's not necessarily that much. So yeah. When it comes to like, let's just look at like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I think was it still Media Create 2017. So it opened up at lower. Obviously these aren't counting digital sales for both platforms, but if you look at like Xenoblade with it, Xenoblade launched and the Switch 2 or Switch 1 sales 124,000. You guys see what I'm saying? So when Xenoblade launched, it went, they sold 124,000 units. So I think Xenoblade helps actually boost the sales a bit more, in some sense. You'll see bigger sales boost because of that. Now that might also be because, I can't say directly it's just because of Xenoblade, because the Switch 1 was already selling good, but like, you can see that I think that it gets people with the hardware plus certain software, probably gets people a bit more excited. I just don't know if Bloodborne moves the needle for people to rush out there and go buy a PS4 or a PS5 because of Bloodborne. I'm not sure if that's gonna move the needle a lot in Japan, So yeah. Yeah, but OG, at the time, Souls weren't really that big. Not like now, to be honest. Difficult to compare. How much did Elden Ring do in Japan? Elden Ring. Let's take a look. Elden Ring, Famitsu 2020. That came out in 2022, right? Famitsu. So, Elden Ring opened up at 278,000, which is definitely good. But oh, these hardware sales are trash. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, sure, there's a base of people that will buy it, but if you look at the hardware sales, the PS4 was already dead by then. Even though Elden Ring did launch on the PS4, but on the dude, I kid you not, the week that Elden Ring from software, yeah. Elden Ring sold 188,000 units on the PlayStation 4. It sold 188,000 units on the PlayStation 4, and it sold 90,000 units on the PS5, okay? So it opened up at a pretty big opening, 278,000 units. But from a hardware perspective, the PS5 sold about 16,000 units. 17,000 units. It sold 15,000 PS5s regulars, and then it sold 1,614 PS5 digitals. So it sold 17,000 units. So you have this big game that sold 90K plus on the PS5, that sold 188,000 on the PS4. The PS4 sold 17 units. Obviously the PS4 was already on its way out, but Elden Ring didn't get Japanese gamers to rush out and go buy PS5, bro. It only sold 17,000 units. The Switch, in that same week, the Switch OLED model sold 32,000 units. The regular Switch V2 sold 24,000 units. The Switch Lite sold 12,000 units. So the Switch sold 70,000 units the same week that Elden Ring came out in Japan. The Switch sold 70,000 units, and the PS5 sold 17,000 units. And that's with Elden Ring launching. And remember, you can play PS4 games on PS5. Elden Ring on PS4 runs better than playing the native PS5 game. So if the Japanese gamers knew that, which they probably didn't know, but for those who did, you can buy the PS4 version and it runs better on your PS5 than playing the native PS5 version. So that's what I'm talking about, that Souls or Elden Ring, those aren't massive system drivers for Japan. They're just not. Elden Ring, there you go. And Elden Ring was essentially a de facto exclusive. So even though, yes, it did launch, I think, on Xbox, there's no, the top 30's out. Elden Ring, there's no Elden Ring on Xbox. It didn't make the top 30 for Japan. There's no Elden Ring. And it's not, obviously it's not on Nintendo, and we're just talking about console market. So it was a de facto console exclusive for PlayStation, and they sold 17,000 units. They got absolutely obliterated by the Switch. The Switch didn't even have anything new. All it had was Atelier Sophie 2, The Alchemist. That's a good game, actually. But all they had was Atelier Sophie, and that sold more on PS4. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was in the top 10. I mean, but there really wasn't a ton. A lot of Switch 1 games were there in the top 30, like evergreen games like 3D World and Splatoon and Pokemon Sword and Shield and Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, like all the typical stuff. Monster Hunter Rise. But yeah, 17,000 units with an exclusive Elden Ring in Japan, Felipe. So there you go. There's your exclusive biggest game ever, right? Elden Ring, one of the biggest best-selling Souls game ever in the history of Souls, right? Exclusive to PlayStation in Japan, 17,000 units. Oh man, there you go. Including digital and PC, Elden Ring sold 1 million in Japan, announced by Bandai Namco. Yeah, including digital and PC. So all those sales and everything, right? All those sales, the PS5 sold 17,000 units that week that it launched. So So we can't sit here and say that Elden Ring or Souls is some type of massive system seller in Japan. No, it's not. Not based off of what I'm seeing here. All right, take it easy, Griffin. Thanks for coming out. I don't think we can judge now until the next big Souls game, as we can make a bunch of reasons why PS didn't sell well then. I think we can put together, I think we can definitively say right now at this point, after looking at Bloodborne and after looking at Elden Ring and seeing how the hardware reacted to 2 generations now of exclusive Souls games on PlayStation, I think we can put together a little bit of a picture here. I don't think we can. I think we can, because now you have 2 games that are exclusive. You know, you have 2 games that are essentially exclusive to PlayStation in Japan, and you can see that the hardware sales, actually, it was better with Bloodborne. They sold 45K with Bloodborne. That's not incredible. That's not the worst thing ever, but that's not great. But with Elden Ring being exclusive, they sold 17,000 units. What are you talking about? Andrew Brightwell with the $10 dono. Hey, yo. Yo, man, when we get Ocarina of Time remake coming? Listen, man, I never reported on Ocarina of Time remake rumors. I was not a big Ocarina of Time coming back guy. Combo breaks there. But you know what I am, Mr. Andrew Brightwell? I am a big Noah and Mio guy. Let's go. So shout outs, man. Let's see here. PS5 was pretty stock constrained in 2022. No. There might have been some stock constraints, but I don't think it was. I mean, if they felt that it was going to be a big, massive seller for that week with Elden Ring, they definitely would have brought more stock in, though, right? I mean, if you're launching something that's going to help sell the system, they would have shifted more over to Japan. I don't think Elden Ring ever somehow made up like, oh, now there's stock, now where everyone's buying Elden Ring and Sony's selling like crazy. I mean, yeah, they had a little bit of a burst, I think in 2020, I think it was 2023 though, they had a little bit of burst. Or was that early 2020? Was it 2022? I forgot exactly when, but I guess like PS5 outsold the Switch 1 a couple of times, and you have people making videos that, uh-oh, Switch 1's in trouble now, Japan. It's like, not really. Yeah, I mean, like, no, man, based off the data that I've seen so far, I don't see Elden Ring or I don't see Souls as some type of massive system seller for PlayStation in Japan. Does it help bump things up a bit? Maybe. Maybe not. But, no, not from what I'm seeing. Yeah, OJ believed in FE4 remake. Listen, FE4... Nate the Hate gave us an update on FE4 remake. It was in the middle of a chip shortage days, a bit special situation. The hardware would have done much better in other times. Better than 45,000. There was no chip shortage with Bloodborne, and that was the next big thing. I mean, better than 45,000? Once again, like, I don't think it does much better than that. I mean, to be honest, like, okay, sure. It doesn't do 17,000. Maybe it does triple that. Okay, well, if you triple 17,000, that's still not necessarily great. That's it's not necessarily like, oh my god, this is the massive system seller. It's still not that. Once again, you look at Bloodborne, there's only 45,000 for Bloodborne. Like I said, not terrible, but not incredible. So I'm not sold on that yet, though, guys. I'm not sold on that. Not based off the data that we've gotten so far. Shout outs to Andrew. Thank you for the support, though, man. I appreciate it. But I see what you guys are saying, though. I see what you guys are saying, but I need hard data to back it up, and the best that we got is Bloodborne at 45K. That's the best data that we have is Bloodborne doing 45K. So that's not enough for me. Souls game didn't become mainstream until 2016 with DS3. No, Bloodborne was big. Bloodborne sold really well, and that was big. It was only on PS4, but that was big. And once again, Elden Ring was there. And if once the supply came back, PS5, why didn't PS5 sales get into the 100K plus? PS5, I don't think ever, from what I recall, I don't recall it ever hitting 100K, even after they got the, I mean, so if everyone was just waiting for that, like, why didn't it hit 100K, 200K? Why didn't it hit the levels of like a massive system seller? So, no, I don't know about it, man. I'm gonna disagree until proven otherwise. Let's see here. If 3D Mario game is not in the next Nintendo Direct, could we be the remake of Ocarina of Time instead? I mean, anything's possible with that, yeah. Monster Hunter World, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Resident Evil 7 couldn't change PS4 in Japan. I doubt what could have. Yeah, I mean, I think, like, you guys are talking about, like, Elden Ring. Like, Elden Ring's not bigger than Monster Hunter in Japan. Like, Monster Hunter's still bigger than the Souls games. And once again, Monster Hunter was essentially a de facto exclusive for the PlayStation 5. And that didn't sell, like, oh my god. They started crying and complaining about the... Capcom started complaining about the sales of the PlayStation 5 in Japan when they launched. They're like, well, why isn't it doing better? So I don't know, guys, man. Like I said, we've had Final Fantasy launch exclusive in Japan. We've had, look at all these big like literally every single Japanese AAA game for the last decade plus since the PS4 launched has been exclusive to Sony in Japan. So, like, how many tries are you guys saying? Like, how many times are we going to sit there and say, oh, well, this will be the game. No, this will be the game. No, this will be the game. They've had exclusive AAA from the Japanese best for decades now. Even in the PS3 era. The PS3 era, they got exclusive, essentially, because Japan was okay in the 360. Like, they tried, but it still got outsold heavily by the PS3, and the Wii wasn't getting any of those big AAA games. So they've had de facto exclusive AAA software for 20 years, or almost 20 years, up until the Switch 2 came out. For 20 years, and the PS3, the PS4, the PS5, none of those systems hit some type of mass market, like up to like the Switch 1, or up to the level of like the 3DS, or anything like that. So I don't know, man. 20 years of de facto exclusives. 20 years of they essentially get all the sales in Japan. And PS3, PS4, and PS5, none of those systems did any type of crazy units when it comes down to it. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see, it looked up Sekiro. You looked up Sekiro for me? Yeah, and 34,000 units for the PS4. Once again, not anything super crazy. Good sales numbers. There's definitely an audience there. Not saying that it shouldn't come out, but not some type of, oh my gosh, this is doing crazy, you know? I'm not checking any more data for Dark Souls, and I'm not checking anymore, guys. It's the same thing. The PS3, the PS4, and the PS5, none of those games, none of those systems have sold crazy in Japan. So I don't know why we're checking all these Souls games as if those were some type of outliers for system sales. They weren't. They weren't. They all sold okay opening week sales with average sales to not necessarily, for whatever reason, chip shortages, blip shortages, whatever the case was, there was always something. You make one excuse why it's a chip shortage. Well, what happened in the PS3 era? What happened in the PS4 era when it got all these games exclusive? It got Monster Hunter World exclusive, got Monster Hunter, what's it called, exclusive? It got Monster Hunter Wilds exclusive. It got all this. It got Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. It got, all these games were exclusive. Where's all the big sales? Literally, and you guys are sitting here questioning everything. Like, why? Why are you guys doing this? Why? Not you guys. Some of you guys are. Not all of you guys. Some of you guys. It got literally everything exclusive. I don't get it. Oh my gosh. I don't get it. Let's see here. I won't believe the idea of a direct next week until we actually see it. Somebody always says that when Nate the Hate says something, and then they're always wrong. Like, I'm not going to believe it till I see it. And then you see it, and they're like, oh, well, now I believe it. Nate's usually always right. So if Nate says something, he's probably right. Bucci. So I'm guessing you're new to this Nintendo Direct thing, or at least follow it online. Because if Nate the Hate says that it's coming, it's probably coming. You want to know who's the guy that told us that when the Nintendo Switch 2 was going to be revealed? It was Nate the Hate. Has the Disc Rock crisis started yet? Not yet. That's why I said if Monster Hunter couldn't do it, pretty much nothing else. That's what I'm saying. Like if Monster Hunter couldn't do it, then nothing else would. No, it's all good, Elias. It's a good conversation to have, because now we don't have to have this conversation anymore. It was good to look up everything, because now we don't ever have to do it again. You know? So yeah. It's not even just about handheld gaming too. It's like certain franchises too. Like Japan loves Nintendo's games as well. So yeah. Nate thinks the new 3D Mario was coming this year, so I believe him. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know about like the game. That's just his game predictions. He's not saying that he has any inside information on that. But when he says that there's a new direct coming, it's probably coming. That's been my mentality with every direct leak. Got to see the actual tweet from the official account, and that's fine. You'll just, like I said, that's fine. But I've been covering Nintendo for decades now, and at this point, and I've known Nate for a long time. So if Nate says that it's coming, then it probably is. So you can believe whatever you want whenever you want, but I'm telling you that if Nate says something, it's probably going to happen. That's what I'm telling you. So, and the reason why we do that here is so we give credibility and we give credit to those who are actually giving us information. The way that you do it, I don't really like that, because then it tries to discredit people that have been honest and have given you information before. That's why I don't like when people have that mentality, because then it's like it downplays what people say. If somebody's willing, like Nate, to say, hey, look, we're going to get this announced then, or we're going to get this announced then, and you want to just dismiss it, that to me is it's whack. Because one, Nate's a friend, but also two, it dismisses them actually getting the information and wanting to entertain us with something and say, hey, look, we have a show or whatever, or being honest with us, or to get us ready. If you have like work, oh, you can plan it or something like that, right? So that's the reason why I don't like doing what you do, just dismissing people. If he's right on it, we should at least say, okay, give him the benefit of the doubt, more than just say, I won't believe it until I see it next week. Nah, I'm not about that. That dismisses Nate. And like I said, he's been accurate. He's been right on a lot of stuff. So while you can do that, I'm not going to just let it slide in my chat. You know, I don't do that here, because he's been right on Nintendo Directs for like years. He's been giving us, hey, it's coming this time, and it comes this time. Hey, the Switch 2 is being revealed at this point. It comes at this point. We can't just sit here and dismiss him anytime that he says something, just because you have a frail mentality on not wanting to be upset or something. So I don't like it. I don't like when people do that. I'm not a fan. Now, like I said, if you do it to people who are random or who have a bad track record, then I get it. But doing that to Nate, who's been there, who's giving you information and been accurate, who literally won Leaker of the Year from Reddit, by the way. Leaker of the Year from Reddit. That means he gets a lot of stuff right, because Reddit's crazy. If you get like one thing wrong or two things wrong, they'll ban you for forever. So the fact that he won Leaker of the Year, we got to give him some credit. You got to give him some flowers, man. Not just dismiss everything that he says quickly, you know? Let's see here. Hey, OJ, interesting fact. Lost Odyssey sold 110,000 copies on the 360 in Japan, 40,000 in its first week. Shoutouts. I know that it did okay. I remember them saying that it did okay in Japan, because that was Hironobu Sakaguchi's game. So, yeah. Reddit, like I said, they'll ban you very quickly if you're not accurate when it comes to certain things. So, the fact that he won Leaker of the Year there. And once again, Nate's been right on so many different things. He's been right on so many different things. So I don't want to just say, oh, well, let's dismiss it. I don't care until they say, no, we got to at least hear him out and say, okay, the possibilities there. Now, if you want to just sit there in your mind and say, hey, look, it's just a rumor, don't take it as 100%, that's fine. I have no problem with that. But I'm not just going to just dismiss him just back in, just, oh, who cares? Like, no, we ain't going to do that. That's hold up. He's giving us a lot of good information, including the reveal timing, the exact day for the Nintendo Switch 2 to be revealed. The exact day. Come on now. You got to give him at least a little bit of a benefit of the doubt. Just a little bit. Don't got to believe it 100%. But just say, oh, okay, Nate said it. Okay, we'll see. You know, just something like that. This is, let's see here. Yeah, it's a flex to get. Yes, it's a flex. Yes, that means you've gotten a lot of stuff right. Yes, because they don't put people there. He's with Jason Schreier and he's with Dust Golem. All those guys get everything right. Yeah, that's a flex. because they're going based off of how right you are. They're not going based off of anything else. They're going on based off how right you are. So that's the reason why. It's not like they put Nash Weedle on there. Not like Nash Weedle won Leaker of the Year. Let's see here. Do you remember the Zippo? Yeah, that fraud Zippo. Zippo's a complete that fraud Zippo. Let's see here. Nate's record is crazy good. Obviously, not everything comes to pass, but his info is no joke. I've even seen him in Japanese gaming YouTube vids. Yeah, man, he's international, bro. Yeah, I still remember many were crashing out when Nate the Hate said he was only 1 day off the Switch 2. Yeah, I remember people were legitimately like flaming Nate, calling him all sorts of names in the book and telling him that he's trash and he's this. And Nate kept on posting a picture of a guy like this, just relaxing, like, hey, is it this day yet? Is it this day yet? And then the day, it was like a Thursday, right? I forgot what day it was. And then here you go. I remember it was really early in the morning. And it's like, boom, Nintendo Switch 2 revealed. Nate the Hate justified. Nate the Hate right. I remember, what day was that? Let me just look. Nintendo Switch 2 reveal. Let me see if I can find it. Reveal. I think I did a live stream, or I forgot what I did. I think I did a live stream. Yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 official reveal. January 16th, 2025. Yeah, I did. It was a 3-hour Nintendo Switch 2 official reveal reaction. And yeah, it was January 16th, 2025. Where I was just waiting. I was up early in the morning and I was just gonna wait this out all day. Like, yo, what's happening right now, man? What is happening right now? So it was great. It was a great day, man. It was a great day. I had a ton of fun covering the system, you know, and everything like that. It was just, like I said, it was just fun. We analyzed the trailer over and over and over again, and we looked at everything, and it was just like, it was just a crazy day. It was so much fun. So much fun. Yeah, like I said, we were up early. I was already up early just waiting for you know, just like waiting to see what was like gonna happen. But yeah, we had like over 1,200 people watching that day. I'm looking at the stats. We had over 1,000 likes. Oh my gosh. Wait, did I really? Wait, there's no way. It said that I got 1,600, or I got 6,100 new subscribers. I don't think I did, but I might have. I know we got a lot of new subscribers that day. That was pretty much all the new subscribers that I got for the whole year, if you count like all the dead channels and stuff like that. So I think we got all of our subs that one day. We need some hype so we can drive the sub base up a bit more like that. We need some hype so we can drive the sub base up. So yeah. Let's see. It was around 11 p.m. in Japan during the Switch 2 reveal. Yeah. I finished shopping in Akihabara. Okay, there we go. And Nintendo Tokyo and Shibuya during the day of the Switch 2 reveal. Great day off for me too. Nice. Yeah, it felt really cool. I was like, yo, like this is like that we had heard so many rumors and we saw the leaks. Like it was pretty much already leaked, you know, beforehand. But to actually get the official reveal and to see Mario Kart and all of that, that was crazy. In your hotel, yeah. I was at home. Nate was off on Halo Master Chief Collection, Zelda Wind Waker TP port, Red Dead Redemption 2 is yet to be determined. Outside of that, mostly on point. I still think those are coming. I still think some of those are coming. So yeah, I think some of those are coming. But we'll see. It was crazy though. It's crazy. Crazy day. Fun day. There were definitely some people mad on the internet. There were definitely some people upset. You know, some people. The Switch 1 got so many people insecure, which was hilarious to me because like, uh-oh, wait, Nintendo's releasing a more powerful system. A lot of certain fans, I'm not gonna say whose fans, a lot of certain fans got real insecure with the Switch 2 that day. Oh my gosh, you could already see the excuses and, oh, well, the power. They were already going nuts like, bruh, you know good and well the Switch 2 is exactly what people wanted. All people wanted was a more powerful Nintendo Switch with better features. That's all people really wanted. That's all people wanted. Everyone just said, please get me a more powerful Nintendo Switch with better third-party support, more day-and-date releases. Please, resolution, frame rate, fix those. Please just get us features. We need voice chat. We need, you know, stuff like that. So please add that. And for the most part, they did exactly what, you know, what everybody asked for. Like, there's not really much that they didn't do. Maybe like a messaging system to like where you can message like, you know, personal messages. But outside of that, you know, they pretty much added everything that people wanted. So yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to pronounce that. You got to really slow down. You can't speak fast and pronounce that if you're not used to saying it. I got up early on the day. Nate said the Switch 2 will be revealed, refreshing Nintendo main YouTube page. Yeah, I remember I saw it on Twitter. They updated it on Twitter first. It was updated first on Twitter. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's here. So I was like, let me just go. It was great. It was a great day. It's so exciting. So exciting. Switch 1 catch up to PS2 sales really bothers. Oh my god, it really did bother some people. I think once we get the update for Switch 1 is probably going to be at, let me look at Nintendo IR. So Nintendo IR. So Switch 1 is probably going to be at, right now Switch 1 is at 154 million. So I'm probably going to say that was the last quarter. So I'm probably going to say they moved about maybe about 1 million or 2 million units in the last quarter. Maybe that's what I'm guessing. They moved about 1 million or so. So I'm guessing the Switch 1 is at 155 million. So it actually really should have, this should have been the real passing of the PlayStation. This honestly should have been the real passing of the PlayStation 2. But, you know, Jim Ryan decided to, he turned into Hogwarts, or he's just he like conjured up, you know, 5 million PS2s. I don't know. Yeah, after not updating the numbers for decades, he conjured up. Jim Ryan was like, sugar, spice, and everything nice. This is the perfect ingredients that you need to create 5 million PS2s. And with that, the PS2 continues to stay at the top of the gaming world. Just see all the PS2s flying into people's homes. Like, bro, like, where'd all those PS2s come from, bro? Like, where they... they're always sold them, don't worry. You can't, I mean, imagine like a decade from now, Nintendo's like, you know what? Yeah, we sold 165 million Switches. Don't worry, guys. We did. You know, just take our word for it. You know, just take our word for it. We definitely sold them. Oh man. Let's see here. Switch will probably pass PS2 by Q3. It's gonna be hard to get that extra 5 million, so I don't know if it's gonna be Q2 or Q3. I think it's probably gonna be next year, and that was my original target. I thought that they're gonna pass them like in 2027, like 2027 or so, to get that extra 5 million more that they need. So, you know, I'm gonna say sometime in 2027 they'll pass them up. You know, maybe also fire sale. Like if they just kind of fire sale the Switch 1, or like discount it heavily, like our retailers start discounting it heavily, then I think that they can move the rest of those units that they do have, you know. So we'll see. To be fair, Nate the Hate defended the PS2 sales update. He said it's been a consensus among industry analysts. Yeah, and that's fine. My issue with it is that they didn't update it themselves. So Sony should have updated it themselves in their books. Like, they didn't say anything about it. So that's the only thing that I had an issue with. Now, I get it. You know, it's there. That's what industry analysts have been saying 100. But like, without you actually updating your numbers, how do you know? Like, you leave it that way for the longest time. You don't say anything. You make no mention of it, and then you say it on your way out. That's the issue that I have. If Nintendo did that, people would be upset. Let's just keep it a buck. If they said, no, regardless of what insiders had to say or whatever, if a decade from now, let's just say Switch 1 sales stopped at 157 million. If a decade from now Nintendo said, oh no, it was at 163 million, people would be up in arms. People would be like, wait, no. Even if there were insiders saying, oh, well, yeah, sales are still tracking, or yeah, they're still selling Switch 1s in Zimbabwe, you know what I'm saying, or Switch 1s in South America or Guadalajara or something, like, whatever, right? Like, make up some random place that they're selling Switch 1s are selling for $99, fire sale off the back of a bike or something like that, right? Like, if Nintendo did that, people would be up in arms about that. It's the same thing that I said when it comes to lots of things, you know? So yeah. Well, since they didn't update until 2024, you can say it took 24 years to reach 160 million compared to Switch 1 selling 155 in less than 9. Yeah? Yeah? So yeah, I know Nate said that, and I know also Daniel Ahmed, who's another, you know, analyst that I respect. I know he said that as well, but like I said, I just think that the timing, once again, was interesting. The timing was interesting, and if Nintendo did that, or if Microsoft did that, people would be up in arms. People would have a problem with it. You know, people would make jokes. People would do the same thing that they're doing right now, making jokes about Sony doing it. So that's all I was trying to say. Let's see. Uncar with the 55 months says, OJ, I think Sony are waiting for the Switch to die out, then say PS2 is somehow a bit above that. I wouldn't be surprised if Sony upped it, because they just said they left it open. They left the book open. You ever put like the chapter marker, but then you leave the book open because you just don't quite know what's going on? They said more than 160 million, so they didn't get. They literally left it open for interpretation. I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. So listen, at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, they can sell whatever they sell, but you guys know me. I'm an honest person. I like numbers. I like facts. I don't like just, oh, well, it's just this, just because I think. I'm not a fan of that, you know? So I like to see, okay, it's this. This is what it is. This is what they said. This is their word. I'm not a fan of, oh, well, it's this. We took 20 years to up. I'm not a fan of that. So it's really not because I care. Listen, nobody makes any money off of Switch 1 outselling it or not. That's just Nintendo and Sony. So that doesn't matter. But like I said, I like to actually have the facts and what's real and what's truthful. And I liked it to be reported in a timely fashion. That's just my nature. That's just my personality. So that's all. If Nintendo updated DS sales, too many would definitely went wild. Yeah, like the DS is at 154 million. If the DS somehow updated their sales numbers to before Sony updated their sales numbers to be 160, if the DS updated it past 155, people would be like, no. They'd be going nuts. Like, if the DS was ultimately the best-selling video game device of all time because Nintendo randomly updated their numbers 15 years later, you know, or 20 years later or something like that. Like, I think it would be funny. We should just update the Super Nintendo. Update the Super Nintendo to like 100 million. You never know. No, I'm joking. All right, let's see here. Let me get this. Yeah, YouTube is tripping right now. You got to refresh everything for anything to work. Shout outs to Uncarl. Thank you for the 55 months, though, man. I appreciate that. That's what many forget too. It took almost a quarter century for PS2 to reach 160 million. quarter century. The way you say that, it sounds like damn. Say a quarter century. 25 years. So yeah, it took a hot minute, bro. It took a hot minute. But I'm guessing that they were already at that number for a while. That's why analysts knew about it. So I'm guessing they were already, like I said, they were already at that number. So yeah. Nintendo should up the DS to 161. Yeah, they should. Just say, you know what? It's 161 million now. Here we go. Here we go. You guys are getting cooked at this point. Shout outs to everybody that hit the like button. If you have not hit the like button, guys, hit the like button. Let them know that we're streaming. We're gonna take some questions and comments and things like that for the next 30 minutes plus to round out the stream. Shout outs to everybody here. We got that hour extension. We're at 63 combos, so we are going
Even further beyond.
We've got a platinum streak at about 37 more combos. So if you guys have questions, if you have comments, if you have what you want to talk about, Nintendo Direct stuff, gaming news, let me know in the chat. If you drop a dono, make sure you put your music request in there because we actually got a number of donos that people dropped, but they didn't request any music. So if you drop a dono, put your music request in there and I'll play it for you when I can. Video game music, of course. I guess the plague showing how many were made equals how many were sold. The plaque. I don't know if that plaque was even real. I think people were circulating that plaque, and I'm like, what is this? Like, where'd this come from? Where'd this come from? What is all this about? But yeah, maybe that was something. Doug Bowser should have done it. Anything Jim Ryan can do, I can do better. Anything Jim Ryan can do, I can do better. No, Switch isn't still full price. It's more than full price. Literally, it's on that higher price 9 years in at launch, and that will break the 160 million in its 10th year, 2027. Yeah, Switch 1 was a significantly more profitable and successful system than the PS2. Just overall, far more. But give me 1 second here, guys. My feet are freezing. So I gotta grab some socks to wear because my feet are like legit like cold right now. I did exercise before my stream though, so I got a good exercise. I got a good 45 minutes of running in, which was nice. A little bit over 45 minutes. 45 minutes of jogging in, just get something because I hadn't worked out for the last number of days because I was just so busy. Just didn't have the time or opportunity to get something in. Doing a lot of stuff, helping out my wife get ready for some stuff that she's doing. What are your top predictions for this direct? I think 3D Mario. I think Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave. I'm gonna have an actual like prediction show or something like that. We'll do something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna say Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna say 3D Mario, Fire Emblem, Fortunes Weave. So yeah, I'm going to say maybe like an Atlas game or two. What if Wii U updated the numbers? They'd still be trash though if Wii U updated their numbers. They'd still be garbage. And that's true. Technically speaking, the Switch 1 is more expensive now because they got a price increase. So yeah. Were you barefoot? Well, yes. If I say I gotta wear socks, I'm in my house though. I'm not outside. So yes, I was barefoot. I mean, I don't wear shoes with no socks. So if I say I gotta wear socks, that means I'm barefoot, right? So Nintendo Switch might have the greatest library of all time with all the games. I mean, it's definitely one of the better libraries for sure. What's up, Dane? Welcome. The best-selling PS2 game was San Andreas at 26 million. Switch has like 6 games that sold more. Yeah. And it might have the yeah, I think Kingdom Hearts is a possibility. Nintendo takes care of their niche IPs. There's many Metroid was still for their enthusiast hardcore. Yeah, I mean, they do a good job with, not the best job, but they do an okay job with some of the smaller franchises, which is good. You know, that's something that you want to see. You want to see them, you know, continue to take care of those franchises. We still get like WarioWare and things like that, so. I do think we'll see characters like Wario, Waluigi, Daisy, Koopalings, etc. in the Mario Galaxy movie. I don't know, man. We'll see. Once we get the movie, then we'll talk. Like, you know, we'll see then what characters are in there. 3D Mario and Mario Kart World DLC will make me super happy. That new Monolith Soft game, yeah. New Monolith Soft reveal. New Monolith Soft reveal. New Zelda reveal. Monolith Soft reveal. 3D Mario reveal. And yeah, like Kingdom Hearts, Atlas game, couple different things here. I think that'd be nice. See, I'm not confident about 3D Mario as others. I do think one will release, but I could see it coming later. We did get Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 last year. DK helps fill the void for now. Hope I'm wrong though. Yeah, DK was made once again by a smaller team, smaller team within the Mario Odyssey team. So they've been plugging away at a new 3D Mario game for quite some time. So I feel more confident about there being a 3D Mario release this year. I think it's just gonna happen. Let's see here. Wouldn't Mario mess up Pokemon Gen 10? No, it wouldn't, because Mario is a different type of game. It's a 3D platformer. Pokemon Gen 10, that is a RPG. So you need multiple different type of games to fill out your library for the year. So no, just like Super Mario Odyssey didn't mess up Legend of Zelda, so no, absolutely not. Because those are two different types. You got a huge base of Pokemon fans that love Pokemon, that are going to buy Pokemon pretty much every single time. But then you also have a huge base of people that like 3D Mario. A lot of people are going to buy both. So I don't know why Nintendo doesn't only do one big game per year. They do multiple big games per year, usually. And they've done that multiple times in the Switch 1 era. So I don't know why 3D Mario would somehow mess up another game. That doesn't make any sense. Just look at, all you got to do, guys, is just look at the Switch 1 era. The Switch 1 era had multiple big games launching in the same year. We got Tears of the Kingdom and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Those two launched in the same year, We got Super Mario Odyssey and we got Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Those launched in the same year. So it's like, it's been something that's very common for Nintendo to launch two big games in the same year. Heck, we had two big Pokemon games launch in the same year. So there you go. Yo, that's it with the Toby Blaster!
Well, seen the preview for the movie, it was pretty cool. Glad that there is more updates for Nintendo coming daily, which is a great sign. But glad there is more titles. Music request F-Zero GX any track.
Okay, I got you. F-Zero GX any track. 82 on the board. Ayo, I appreciate that. Let's go. And I got you. My man, that's it. You are now the Hokage. We're going to get your music in just a bit. Big love. So yeah, it's Sizzy. Yeah, man, you don't got to worry about that, man. Like, Nintendo will drop multiple big games in a year. They did it so many times in the Switch 1 era. So expect that in the Switch 2 era as well. Expect that in the Switch 2 era. That sense. And it is $19.67. Shout outs to the 1967 boys. Big love. Thank you for the the $20 dono, the Toby Blaster. A raw Toby Blaster. That's it. 1960. And let's get your music going though. Your music, it needs to be played. It needs to be enjoyed. It needs to be listened to. We're gonna go ahead and get this up to 83. We're gonna round that 67 cents up, baby. We're gonna round it up. All right. So here's what you wanted. You wanted F-Zero GX. F-Zero GX music. All right. So this should be good. F-Zero GX has some great tracks. Just all... Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Nintendo usually has 2 to 3 notable holiday titles anyway. I wonder what it could be. If not Mario, probably a new Mario Party, new Pokemon. I don't know. Pikmin 4 featuring Funky Kong. Yeah, I don't know about a new Mario Party this year. I think Mario Party is going to come in a little bit later, just because they had Jamboree. But I mean, they could have a new one. Obviously, they could do Jamboree back to back. I mean, they did Mario Party Superstars and Mario Party Jamboree, and Super Mario Party, kind of all somewhat close to each other at times. But yeah. What's up, Ish? OJ, how is the snowstorm? I don't live in a snowstorm. I live in California. There's no snowstorm. It's 50 degrees here and clear. It was actually a little sunny today. So, I do not everybody lives in the East Coast or in a snowstorm. But yeah, for those who do, hopefully everything's okay. Let's see here. After the next 3D Mario game comes out, or we could get a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom. We're not getting a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom. They're done with that. With that, what's it called? That world, that Link, that Zelda, that world. I think they're done with that one. So no, probably not. Didn't Let's Go and Smash Ultimate release in the same quarter year? Yes, they did. Let's Go released in November. Smash Brothers released in December. Once again, Pokemon Legends Arceus came out in 2022. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet came out in 2022. Splatoon 3, that's also another major release, that came out in 2022. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 came out in 2022. Bayonetta 3 came out in 2022. So Nintendo will drop multiple big games, big system seller type games in the same year. They don't care. Absolutely. Shout outs to Elvin Ryan with the $5 dono. It says if Switch 2 Lite, Joy-Con 2 used for mouse control, instead they'll say cannot be played as people saying. You just wouldn't have the option for mouse control. No game is like mouse controls like dependent or required. But yeah, you wouldn't be able to use it for like Mario Party, which that happened for the Switch 1. So in Mario Party Jamboree or in certain games or Super Mario Party, certain games where you needed like Joy-Con controls, it's not compatible. Like you can't use the Switch Lite for those games because there's no Joy-Cons. So yeah, so if there was something like that, then they do what they did before with the Switch Lite and Mario Party or certain games. But there's not many games that require mouse control or Joy-Con play. So it would still work for the majority of games. Although, can you connect a Joy-Con and use it as a controller on a Switch Lite? I don't think you can. Can you? I don't know. If you can, I guess that'd be one way to circumvent that. But yeah. Dragon Drive. Yeah, Dragon Drive would be one of those games where like, yeah, it just wouldn't be compatible on the Switch 2 Lite unless they allowed you to use. Okay, so there you go. You can connect Joy-Con, so that's a way to circumvent it. So you can still use, you know, you just wouldn't be able to play it in handheld mode, but you can still use, you know, it'd still be playable in some way, you know. So there you go. Could we get a cover of Do the Mario with Mario Galaxy sequel covered by Chris Pratt and him dressing up in Mario in the credits? I don't know, man. Like, if this was, what year are we in? 2026? If this was 26 years ago, I'd give you a completely different answer. But I can't say things I'm gonna get canceled. So no, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I'm not sure. I'll get canceled if I felt like that. If I felt like saying something. But I'll just tell you right now, Ninmar, it used to be a different world back then. I would have gave you a much funnier response 26 years ago, in the year 2000 or even like 2001 or early 2000s. I would have given you a significantly funnier response, but I'm not gonna do that. So I'll just say that I don't think so, dude. I don't think so. Shout outs to Sacrifices. I know OJ wanted to say something so hard. Yeah, I wanted to say, yo, we are close to the platinum streak to 103. We got 90 on the overclock board. We are 10 combos, one JoJo away. Shout outs, guys. I appreciate the support. Mario Galaxy 3 or Odyssey 2 or something new. What could it be? It could be any one of those. It could be any. I actually talked about that in my video today where I discussed, no, was it today or was it yesterday? No, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I actually discussed that in my video yesterday about what they can do with Mario. Like what could be the next thing. I think I might make a separate video on that. But yeah, check out that vid. 90s responsible. No, you can't even speak. You can't even talk or act like that or speak like that anymore. Like it's unacceptable. I mean, well, you can, but I mean, if you want to, that's like I said, pick your poison. But I mean, that's not even me anymore anyway. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day, you know. Let's see, if you get the Switch 2 edition of a game that drops in March, but the upgrade pack is available for pre-order on the eShop now. Okay, he's talking to Alclove, or he's talking to somebody else. SNL response, maybe on that one. Yo, Dane with the $2 dono. What game reveals would make the February Direct a 10 out of 10 for you guys? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, if they have 3D Mario, something Zelda, something Monolith Soft, Fire Emblem date, and it's closer than I expect, or it's, you know, whatever, maybe like another game or two, give us like Dust Bloods, Splatoon Raiders. If they give us all that, that'd be like a 10 out of 10 right there, because it's that, you know. And if they give us like yeah, if they give us Mario, if they give us a new 3D Mario, Gen 10 Pokemon, I don't think they might not do Gen 10 Pokemon though because of Pokemon Day, but if they give us 3D Mario, something Zelda, you know, something like Dust Bloods, Fire Emblem, give us a release date with more information, trailer, Splatoon Raiders, trailers, maybe Splatoon 4, the next Splatoon tease, but Splatoon Raiders, and like maybe like I said, a couple like some third-party games here and there. That'll be pretty much that'd be good enough 9/10 for me. It's too early. I don't think a 2D Metroid is coming because Metroid Prime 4 was just announced, so I don't think a 2D I wouldn't bank on a 2D Metroid right now. Maybe later though. Maybe later, but not at this one. Not at this one. 3D Mario Kart World DLC, Monolith Soft reveal, Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave trailer. Yeah, that right there, party man. That would make it a 10 out of 10. So yeah, Mario Kart. Actually, I need to write down some of this stuff so I remember. Sometimes I forget even when I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, that would probably be a 10 out of 10 for me. So yeah, 3D Mario, Mario Kart World DLC, Mario Kart World DLC, Monolith Soft, something Monolith Soft reveal. Monolith Soft reveal, Splatoon Raiders, Fire Emblem, yep, Fire Emblem, Fortune's Weave, yep, that's pretty much all I would need. They give me that, release date for Splatoon Raiders, more information, Fire Emblem, Fortune's Weave, dated, Monolith Soft reveal, Mario Kart World DLC, 3D Mario, and give me like a Zelda, there we go, this is like a 9 out of 10. Give me a Zelda, like Zelda remaster or remake, and then plus third-party games, third-party ports, third-party Japanese ports, third-party Japanese games. So like Metaphor, Final Fantasy, you know, Capcom, Monster Hunter. So just third-party Japanese games like that. You give me third-party Japanese games, give me Zelda remake or remaster, Fire Emblem Fortunes Weave, Splatoon Raiders, Monolith Soft reveal, Mario Kart World DLC, 3D Mario. That's pretty much a 10 for me. So yeah. I think the 2D Mario, or I think the 2D Metroid is coming. I just don't think it's going to be revealed here. But, I mean, it could. Yeah, I mean, Expedition 33 port, that'd be cool too. So, yeah. That would be great. Back then, I wanted to get every single Nintendo Switch game. Yeah, sure. Oh, I forgot Yoshi the Mysterious Book trailer. Yeah, give me a release date for like, I mean, like updates for older games, like those are like given. I don't give those as much credence, but like if they have them good, don't get me wrong. Yes, that's part of it, but they don't get like huge points. Now, Fire Emblem does because it's Fire Emblem. So for me, it does because we really didn't see too much of Fire Emblem. But yeah, Fire Emblem Splatoon Raiders is more interesting because they haven't really shown too much. So you give me stuff that's like, you know, Dust Bloods. Let me add Dust Bloods in there. So you get me some Dust Bloods. The Dusk Bloods. Give me that so people can, you know, just get that. Give me that, and that's like a 10 out of 10 because you got some updates on games. You get release dates. I'm giving them extra points for actually delivering on games. A lot of times we'll get games announced and they don't come out for years and years and years later. So you get points for delivering on games. Like, hey, look, this game was just announced last year. It's coming out this year. You stuck to your schedule. You get big points for that. So I'll give them extra points for that. But yeah, Mario Kart World DLC. This will be contingent on like if they how much are they gonna charge for it, you know, things like that. So we'll see. Shout outs to oh my goodness. Shout outs to Elvin Ryan with the Jonin tier pledge. Thank you so much for the Jonin tier pledge. Let's go. I think that's about a 95 on there because Dang did 2 as well. So we are 5 combos away. Yo, Elvin, welcome to the Elite Ninja Squad. Thank you for becoming an Elite Ninja. Let's go. Shout outs. Let's go, baby. Appreciate that. I feel like I'm in dark for the new Nintendo Direct. Nate the Hate said that there's a new one coming. What will be our 2026 Zelda? Last couple were Echoes of Wisdom, Hyrule Warriors. I think a 3D remake, A Link Between Worlds, a 3D remake. Yeah, I mean, it's possible that they do like a Link's Awakening, or do you mean like an actual like where they like completely remake it to where it looks like Twilight Princess or Breath of the Wild, like something like that? Nintendo Direct will have a new WarioWare game. I think a new WarioWare game is probably coming because the last one was like what, 2021? It's been a while for WarioWare. Like, yeah, so it's been a hot minute. So yeah, I do think that a new WarioWare game is coming. I don't know if it's gonna be at this Direct though, but I do think that that one's coming. So yeah, I do think that that is coming. Let's see. The last WarioWare game came out in 2023. WarioWare Move It. Okay, 2023. So yeah, it's been 3 years. So yeah, I would expect a new WarioWare game sometime this year or next year. But they already have like Rhythm Heaven, so they might wait a year on that one because Rhythm Heaven's coming out this year. So they might say, hey, this is like the mini game weird collection for this year with like Rhythm Heaven. Are you streaming the Tomodachi Direct? I might. If I wake up for it, I'll stream it. Any new Switch 2 Edition game announcements here? I think so, yeah. I think like I think Nate said like Nintendo Switch 2 Sports. Like I could see them doing. Nintendo's going to definitely do that because like it's easier. It gets people who maybe didn't buy the game. You get updates, so it's like it's just easy cash, you know, to supplement the bigger games that are coming out and to pay everybody. So yeah, I can see Nintendo Switch 2 Sports. I can see a couple other, you know, Switch 2 editions of games coming. Like not a ton. But like I can definitely see like a couple other ones coming. Some of them will be free updates though. What we do know is that Nintendo will do Switch 2 editions and they'll do free updates. So like Donkey Kong got a free update. Splatoon got a free update. Since the launch of the Switch 2. Obviously we had Splatoon, we had Pokemon. Those got free updates. We had Captain Toad. We had Super Mario Odyssey. You know, those all Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom, those were probably the best free updates, were Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom. So I mean, I think they're going to do more of free updates and they're also going to do Switch 2 editions. So we'll see. We'll see with that. Yeah, Mario and Luigi Brothership desperately needs a Switch 2 edition or free update. I'm hoping it's more on this free update side, but that game needs faster loading times. That game needs 60 FPS. I agree. Like, the fact that it didn't run at 60 FPS was an issue. Dan Gonzalez with the Ninja Peach. Let's go.
Platinum Streak. What are your top third-party games and Switch 2 updates and additions that you would like to see in the Direct?
Yeah, well, we went over that, so I just talked about it. But yeah, I have a whole video where I discuss Switch 2 additions and updates like Astral Chain, Xenoblade games like that. It's pretty much all the usual suspects, Dane, that you would expect or that you would want. So yeah, Astral Chain, Xenoblade would be like my top games when it comes down to that, because there's not a ton left that I really want. Fire Emblem, maybe Engage and Three Houses. Just those games would be good as well. So let me see if I can find that video for you though. Nintendo Switch 2 updates. Yeah, I don't know where I made that upgrades, or yeah, I don't know where I made that video, but it's there. Let me see if I type in Astral Chain if it pops up. I know Astral Chain was one of them. Yeah, I have no idea where it's at. But yeah, I made a video talking about every single game. So, but I can't find it, to be honest, because I don't remember what I titled it. So yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah. I made a video going over all that type of stuff, like what I'd like to see for like updates. It was around the launch of the Switch 2, so it's somewhere in there overall. So yeah. But the fact I looked up Astral Chain, I made 75 videos on Astral Chain. That is awesome. See, people say, oh, that's how you know I'm not doing it for the money, guys, or I'm not doing it because of... I'm doing it because I love certain games. Because Astral Chain was not the type of game that'd get you a ton of views. Like, we're averaging like around 4,000 to 5,000 views per video. But I made so many videos on Astral Chain. So many videos. Let's see here. Brothership needs a free update. Yeah, Brothership needs a free update. I agree. Let's see. I need to pick up 3 Houses. Still haven't played it. Oh, you need to play 3 Houses before Fortune's Weave comes out. Yes, Dragon Quest 7 comes out next week. I'm looking forward to that game. No more Mario games or games set in the Mario universe. For the love of God, there's already enough this year. Nah, you're gonna have to have 3D. What? We need 3D Mario. What do you mean? New Super Mario Bros. Wonder, that's just a re-release. Mario Tennis, that's a tennis game. We need the actual next big new 3D Mario game. Nah. Let's see. All right, take it easy, Miguel. Thanks for coming out to the stream. I appreciate you staying up so late. I know I know it's super late in your neck of the woods. So thank you for staying up with us, man. Kiwi Talks. What about Kiwi Talks? Never played I think we Astral Chain. You just combine like Astrobot and Astral Chain together. Might cop that. Yes, I highly recommend it. But hopefully there's a Switch 2 update. You might want to wait for that, because if there is, that would be great. I mean, we don't have anything Platinum Games. We have no new Platinum Games title on Switch 2, so maybe they announce an Astral Chain update and they're working on the next Bayonetta game. Maybe that's something that they announce at the next Nintendo Direct. I wouldn't be too surprised if that's a thing, you know? So that's possible. Also, Platinum Streak. Okay, so I think Reese Kiwi Talks put out something just saying, yeah, saying Starfield, looking forward to Starfield 2.0 without all the bloody loading screens. Okay, on Switch 2 and PS5. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's probably going to be a thing. So yeah. 3D Mario was expected this year. I'm aware, just no more enough plumbers. Just don't buy the games. Just buy other stuff. Why? I don't know why you're so worried about other people being able to enjoy Mario games. I don't get it. Let's see. You're going to play Woolhaven, Cult of Lamb DLC? Nah. Only thing Nintendo didn't get away with was $30 amiibos. Only thing Nintendo didn't get away with was $30 amiibos. People that want to buy $30 amiibos will buy them. People are buying whatever they want. So when people say get away with, I always find it silly or funny when people say they get away with this. They don't get away with this. Nobody thinks that way. You buy whatever you want to buy. That's how most people think. Now, online gamers, we think that there's some type of crazy cult that no, we don't. People buy whatever they want. So they'll get away or not get away with whatever people want to buy. So it's always, like I said, it's always silly when people say stuff like that, because it doesn't even make sense. Like, get away with what? What are they getting away with? You either buy it or you don't. That's it. Like, it's the start and stop of it. That's it. You buy it or you don't. That's it. There's nothing more, nothing less. So, and they don't give us sales updates or numbers on amiibos or on other things, so we don't even know how well they did or not. We don't know. We don't get updates on it. So yeah. On one hand, there'll be 3D Mario because it's pretty much overdue, but on the other hand, I don't want it because Nintendo Land. Oh man, when you're hate blocking, you're like, man, I don't want 3D Mario game just because this guy's been annoying as hell about it. Yeah. Oh, you're just responding to somebody else? Okay, got you. I'm just responding just in general. When people say they get away with this or they don't get away with that, it's like, bro, people will buy it or not. That's it. That's really all it comes down to. Same thing with Xbox, same thing with PlayStation, same thing with Valve, same thing with anybody. They'll either buy it or they won't. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's see here. You got enough for how much you people need? I mean, it's Mario's. It's still the Mario 40th anniversary celebration. Without Mario, Nintendo wouldn't even be here. If Nintendo didn't create Mario, and Mario wasn't as successful as Mario is, Nintendo wouldn't even be here right now. They would have went out of business, or they would have been in a completely different business right now. They probably would have been making cards and making toys, and they probably wouldn't be making video games like this. So we can't sit here and act like Mario wasn't a huge reason why Nintendo's still standing to this day. So yeah, you gotta give respect where respect is due. Let's see here. I feel like the next Nintendo Direct will be called overhyped, overblown, no matter what gets revealed. Sure, people are gonna have their own opinion. That doesn't mean that's gonna be your opinion. Let's see here. $30 amiibo will pay me, but I still buy the ones I want. Just don't buy them, or just wait for discounts and wait for sales. If you wait, like towards the end of the year and stuff like that, you can get them on sale. You can get them discounted. If they're too expensive, don't buy it. Like, you don't gotta buy amiibo. They don't do anything. You know, for the most part, you don't need them in any game. So don't buy them if that's what you feel like. If you're, oh, it pains me, but I'll buy it. No, just don't buy them. Spend that $30 on something else, and you'll be much happier. Go buy something to eat, or go buy what's it called? Go buy a video game, or go do something else. You ain't gotta buy no damn amiibo. Let's see here. You think Nintendo Direct will be next week? It's possible. Yes, that's the new rumor. Let's see. We could have been getting Super Popeye Odyssey and bruh, that'd be crazy. Expect this given the last few years have been full of Mario games. Not just this year. Yeah, because Mario sells. It does well, so they're gonna make Mario games. I mean, like, just don't buy them. Like, it's not like you're gonna get something else if they don't make this game. You're not gonna get something else you're just not gonna get anything. So I think that's what you think, Elias. You think that, oh, if they don't make this, I'm gonna get some. No, you're not. You're just not gonna get anything, or you're just gonna get something else that sells well, and they're just gonna do that a lot. You know, so you're not gonna get like what you want in replace of it. Like, it's not like, oh my god, now we're gonna get like Xenoblade or something. So I'm just letting you know that, like, you don't get, nothing's gonna replace that. Like, it's just not. Or it's gonna come out, it's not gonna sell well, then they're gonna stop making it. That's what's gonna happen. So just keep that in mind. I think a lot of people think that, oh, because they're doing this, I don't get what I want. And it's like, no, you just won't get anything. Wii U's a thing. Remember the Wii U? They didn't run out 5 million Mario games. We just didn't get anything. So if something isn't selling, or if you're not gonna get something else in return. And if you do, it's probably not gonna do that well, because it's not gonna sell as well as Mario. So yeah, man, like, you ain't gonna get anything that replaces it. Trust me, you're just gonna get less. So yeah, man. Yeah, we know about the Tomodachi Life Direct. We've already spoken about it, and that's kind of news that we already went over and discussed. So yeah, I might stream it, I might not. We'll see. I mean, we can have too much Mario games, but I just don't think that I don't think that there's like too many Mario games to the point to where it's like bad. It's like Mario Kart is Mario Kart. That's not a Mario game like 3D Mario. Like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, it's just a Switch 2 edition. It's just a re-release. It's just Mario Wonder. Mario Tennis, it's a tennis game. It's not like, so these games don't play the same. Like, Elias is treating it as like Mario's like they're all the same game. Literally, they all play differently. You can love Mario Tennis and hate Mario Bros. Wonder. You can love Mario Wonder and hate Mario Kart. Like, they're not mutually like exclude. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're not like all the same game. So that's the problem. Like, that's the only issue that I have. It's like they're just random games here and there, like that sell well. So they're gonna get them. Mario Kart's its own thing. Like, you don't. Mario Kart is not the same as like Super Mario Bros. Wonder. They play completely different. If they call Super Mario Bros. Wonder, I don't know, Super Bug Wonder, and it was just a bunch of bugs jumping around, or if it was just a bunch of people that weren't Mario jumping around, would you be happy? Would you be okay with that? Would you be like, oh my gosh, everything's great now? If they made Mario Tennis into Mario, or into Grand Salama Tennis, or washed up Nintendo character tennis, if it was like the Legend of Starfy Tennis, would you be excited if it was the exact same gameplay, but it was Starfy instead? Would you be like, oh, well, there's not as many Mario games, I'm happy now? Of course not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be like, oh, it's just a game that I'm not interested in. That's all it would be. So that's the only issue that I have with you grouping it. Like, oh, it's just all Mario games. Bro, you know, Mario Kart's different from Mario Tennis. Mario Tennis is different from Mario Bros. Wonder. Come on now. You know? You know good and well, you'd probably just not play it. If they called it Starfy Tennis, would you be all of a sudden be like, get rid of Starfy Tennis? Of course not. You wouldn't be saying that, right? Let's just be real here. Let's just be real. Let's be real here, though. I wouldn't mind another Sega tennis game. I do wish they do Star Fox and F-Zero. Yeah, Star Fox and F-Zero have nothing to do with Mario Tennis and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Like, they have nothing to do with those. Star Fox and F-Zero are not happening because of bad sales and because of no ideas. The people that could potentially make this game, there's been stuff submitted and it hasn't been approved. That's it. Bad sales of the previous Star Fox and F-Zero games, and nothing's been approved but F-Zero 99 and little side things here and there. So yeah, don't get me wrong. I'd love to see Star Fox and F-Zero and all of those. You know, those would be great. But yeah, Mario Tennis isn't the reason why you're not getting that. And I'm not saying that you said that, though. I'm not saying that you said that. I'm just saying, like, those don't have any effect on it, you know? Which sometimes people do think that. They think that they made this game, so therefore this other game's not being made, and that's just not how it is. Nintendo has an open policy. Developers can work, if you want to do it on your own time, but developers can work on what they want. If they've got time, you can send a pitch to Nintendo. You can put something in there. Now, is it going to get rejected? I mean, probably. But if a developer had some type of grand idea for F-Zero or grand idea for Star Fox, they would put the pitch in. Now, that still might be happening. We don't know. We could get an announcement for a new Star Fox game next week. So let's just wait and see what happens this year. Then we can go from there, right? But there could be a new Star Fox announcement this year. There could be a new F-Zero announcement this year. We have no idea. We just don't know. So we'll see, right? We'll see. But yo, shout outs to everybody that came out to this stream, man. I appreciate it. I do think that, like I said, today's stream was great. I'm not trying to pick on Elias either. Like, I know he's not a big Mario guy, so he's just saying, hey, look, you know, there's Mario stuff. But yeah, they're very different games, though. But I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I feel you. But we need a new 3D Mario, though. We like, that is desperately, I want to say desperately needed, but it's definitely needed. It's definitely needed. We need that big new 3D Mario game. We need a couple other stuff, too. But we're getting Fire Emblem. We're getting other games, too, so... if you have not checked out my most recent video, he says, come on, man, I don't lump all Mario games together. Oh, I ain't hating like 3D and 2D ones. All right, I feel you, Elias. I got you, fam. I got you, fam. No hate towards you. No hate. How about this? You guys check out my most recent video. Check out my most recent video. If you haven't seen it, hold up. Let me remove this one. There we go. If you haven't seen my most recent video, check it out. Yeah, almost 10 years. Yeah, Odyssey's going on that long, man. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. So thank you guys so much for coming out to the stream today. Check out my most recent videos if you haven't seen it. I just did a video on Final Fantasy VII Remake sales. So that video is kind of blown up right now. And it's doing pretty good. Going on 11K views plus. A lot of new subs from that vid. A lot of comments. So go join in on the conversation. Go check it out. I want to say thank you to everybody that dropped support today. We were able to get the platinum streak right at 100 on the overclock even. So we hit the 103. Let's go and let's get that combo break. And of course, Cloud busting through. Let's go. Shout out, guys. Let me go through the other shout outs. Dane Gonzalez, thank you so much. Elvin, Ryan, Psycho Pie, Vadsent as well. Thank you for the support. And sorry that we had long stretches of time where there was no music, just because I have to reload everything. Momo, thank you so much for the support. Big love. Nick93. That's at end of the stream as the Hokage and Stream Ninja. KO Ken, TARDIS, Dan Dips, David V. Shout outs, guys. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. Go watch the vids. Go check out the content. We'll have a new video up tomorrow morning at some point. And it should be great. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate everything. Appreciate you guys coming through. Appreciate you guys watching. It's always been a lot of fun. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for being awesome. And we will see you guys. We will see you guys for the next one. All right, peace out, homies. Shout out to all the Elite Ninjas, too. You guys have been great. But thank you so much, man. Thank you for the support. All right, Action Jackson. Uncario, appreciate y'all. All right, take it easy. Bye.